good. Levels is good. What a boy.
Okay. Big man, you wanna hear some hot takes? Let's see how woke you are. You know something about podcasts? Hell, dígame. You kidding me or what, man? I got these 3 drunk uncles with a sports podcast. They say they got fire takes, pure fuego. You find them wherever you listen to podcasts at. If it's what they say it is, you like and you subscribe. Listen, like, and subscribe, yeah. You know how to call into the show? Yeah, man, do the podbean app. You'll need headphones with a mic to call in. That's no problem, man. They'll also be at Sharky's, 8:07 p.m. on the first Wednesdays of the month. You may get some free Blue Chew. And they keep receipts or so. If anything happens in the sports world, MyT's gonna drop a take faster than a rabbit gets fucked. There's only 3 things I have in this world. My word, my balls, and this podcast. And I don't break them for nobody. MyT Sports Season 7.
Oh yeah, I think that's my cue. Let's go get this. Evening, and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only Dalito Martela, aka Mr. Energy himself. It is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. It is October 11th. This is season 7, episode 16, X349 of the MyT Sports Podcast. It is a Monday evening, and boy, we got a whole lot of shit to get into you. Yeah. We got a lot of shit to get into you. Take that how you want to. Nah, man. Listen, we got the injury bug. The injury bug is real, and that shit was hitting the NFL. We got the WNBA GOAT that was just recently announced. We got Gruden. It's an email camp. Apparently, he no longer has a quarterback camp. He may only be reserved to having an email camp, where he has to learn how to properly articulate himself in emails. We got a couple of GOATs that were leveling up. We got Rocky 3 was an epic bout. We got LA Jinx. We got Lud Jinx James. He popped up in the building somewhere. I see KJ. You see looking around the corner. We got the NFL trade deadline 22 days away. We ain't gonna go heavy into this. So this may be the only time that we mention this here on the podcast. Want to give a shout out to we just had the 125th Boston Marathon. Big up to that coming around, because we know we didn't have that for a year after that shit got bombed. To home run or not to home run, that is the question we're going to talk. We may get into a little bit of baseball. We'll see if KJ joins us. And apparently, Bama got squared up. They no longer rolling tide, folks. They got completely squared up. We got all of that and more on the MyT Sports Podcast. But you know what we say here, folks. Regardless of the time.
Take that.
And regardless of the weather, which is partly cloudy with highs of 88, lows of 73, current temperature right now 86 degrees.
You play to win the game. Hello?
It's always a good time to talk some sports. So let's start talking. Let's stir this motherfucker up and get you guys, you know what I mean? Let's stir this shit up. Let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Yo, welcome back. It's the weekend. Oh, it's Monday. We just had the weekend that just passed us. Man, oh man, oh man. Talk about action-packed. Talk about fun-filled. Talking about you needed to be there. You needed to see it. Live. With peoples. To fully understand what kind of sports weekend we just had. I keep seeing this whole entire weekend, the NFL or NBC, they keep advertising an event that is once in a lifetime. But this weekend in sports, that shit was once in a lifetime. That shit was worth the price of admission. That was worth seeing. The Super Bowl and the Winter Olympics are gonna be happening at the same time. Nobody gives a flying fuck. We gonna have basketball on. We gonna have hockey on. We gonna have football on. Well, I mean, not on, but in the bill. Nobody. I'm gonna tell you something right now. At no point in time during the Super Bowl, during a commercial, or during a lull period, is anybody gonna be saying, "Hey, yo, let me go see what's happening in the Olympics real quick"? That's not gonna happen. I'll be even hard pressed. Listen, I'll be very confident even saying that they may not even be the Winter Olympics on in the same household during the Super Bowl on a separate TV in another room where it can't disturb anybody. The only way that's happening is if that household has somebody in it that is going to be directly affected by the Olympics. Meaning that they know somebody directly. It's their brother, it's their sister, it's their aunt. You understand? It's their girlfriend, it's their boyfriend, it's their girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. It's your go boy, your boy go. Whatever it is. Like, I guarantee you, like, I made a bet this past weekend about my eyebrows on the Dolphins game. As you guys can see, the eyebrows are still intact. I was confident, super confident. And just how I was confident to bet my eyebrows on Tampa Bay beating Miami, this is how confident I am. I'm telling you that the Winter Olympics is not going to be on at the same time in any household that the Super Bowl is on, unless that person has a direct interest in the Winter Olympics. Other than that, that shit is just happening. What's going on, Paul? I see. Oh no, Paul was over here. She's somewhere else. But I just had to bring that up because that's the kind of weekend we had. That's the kind of weekend that we had. This shit was once in a lifetime. This shit was a weekend to behold. This is a weekend that you had to see. But before we get into the weekend, folks, let's make sure that we get into our birthday shout-outs. So let's go ahead and get that popping right now. Go ahead, DJ MyT. Go ahead and play that beat. Oh shit. That shit's automatic. You know what I mean? As soon as that played, the hips start wanting to do some things. Like, yo, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it. Because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday. Check it. Yo, so, you know how we do. I really start off the podcast, folks. We like to give our birthday shout-outs at the beginning of every single podcast. Basically, since the last time that we saw each other. Now, I keep telling you that we've had some slow times. We had a lull period. I don't know what was going on in Decembers and Januaries. For real. But here we go again. Starting off another birthday month, kind of sluggish. I had no birthdays for the 9th to big up. None whatsoever. But what we did have is a birthday for the 10th. And on the 10th, we have a birthday for Culture Inc. Culture Inc. Now, I'm not quite sure how Culture Inc. as a whole has a birthday, because Culture Inc. happens to be a wrestling faction. Right? It's a group of a couple of people. You heard me talk about one of them, Malik Bosidi. Right? Well, he's part of the Culture Inc. And as you know, Malik Bosidi is Platinum Pro Wrestling's current champion right now. He's going to be defending his belt coming up on October 22nd at Hollow Slam. You guys make sure you be there. I'll be giving you guys information exactly where to find that event, where to get your tickets at, and where to see it. All of that. All of it. All encompassing, B. So I want to say happy birthday to Culture Inc. because Culture Inc., there's one thing they definitely do. They definitely do it for the culture. You know what I'm saying? So happy birthday definitely to Culture Inc. But also I want to say happy birthday. These are all birthdays from yesterday. I want to say happy birthday to my cousin Nicole. And my cousin Nicole just had a birthday. I don't even have to be honest with you. I'm a horrible cousin. I can't even say I'm a horrible cousin, right? I just don't know how old she is. But can I say, a lot of times, I've never really could remember how old somebody is. It is so hard for me to remember like somebody's age. Like, something has to really stand out for me. Like, or you just have to constantly like beat it in my head, and over a period of time for me to like, I'm not remembering when your birthday is, me. So I want to say happy birthday to my cousin Nicole Davis Smith. Also, we got a birthday for today, and a birthday for today is for a homeboy of mine, Paul Dominio. Paul was one of the homeboys that I used to work with back in the days when I was working in a sales office when I first moved to South Florida. When we used to go out a couple times. You know what I mean? We used to go out there and do some big pimping shit. Go out to South Florida. Represent how people do when they're in South Florida, but also represent how we want to have a little bit of New York. You know what I'm saying? So that's all the birthday shout-outs that we got. So to Culture Inc. and to Nicole and to Paul, to all of you, we wish you all a happy birthday. We hope you party hard. Hope you regret nothing. Enjoy everything. But more importantly, continue to stay MyT. But if you guys don't forget, remember you can catch the podcast app. Remember, there are a couple places to catch this podcast app if you're listening. Right, you can catch it on my website, mytsports.net. M is in Mike, Y is in Yankee, T is in Tango, sports.net. Or you can just tell your smart speaker. Right, yeah, smart speaker. Play the latest episode of the MyT Sports Podcast. It'll go ahead and play that for you. Whether you tell you want to listen to the latest episode or if you want to watch the latest episode, it'll do either or for you. Or just go to my link tree. link.tree/MyT Sports Podcast. And actually, when you do that, you'll actually find everything MyT Sports. Even the link on how you can join the podcast and call in. Yeah, folks, MyT Sports Podcast is always a good time. Yo, DJ MyT, do me a favor. Hey, yo, cut the beat. Let's go ahead and get into it.
First of all, things first.
Did you guys see this Sunday night football game? Oh, good God Almighty! Go Google, good God, googly moogly, right? This game, and I'm rewatching it again right now. Right now, we're sitting about in the third quarter, and it's 13-24, and I'm at this current time, I'm still up in my fantasy football league. But then Josh Allen, he starts passing the ball all over the place. He starts running the ball. He starts making passes. He's not passing it to Stephon Diggs. Like, what the fuck is going on here? How the hell you just gonna ignore your number one target the whole second half of the game? But they were winning. They were winning big time, B. Like, they were busting that ass. Like, we're talking about like brand new pussy busted wide open kind of shit. Like, he busted wide open, busted wide open, busted wide open, busted wide open. This was a heavyweight bout. Like, not for nothing. This was a bout of heavyweights, I guess you could say. Because the way that we have seen this matchup for the last couple of years, we have basically deemed these two teams as two of the favorites to come out the AFC, if not possibly win the Super Bowl, or at least be into the Super Bowl. Right? We look at Kansas City as the favorite, but Buffalo as that team that's up and coming. As we know, if you're Kansas City, based off your position, you won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. You understand? You've been there now for the last 3 years. 2 years. When people face you, you get their best. Kansas City right now is wearing the number 2 headband on their head. Tampa Bay is number 1 and Kansas City is number 2. Right? Number 1 headband, number 2 headband. But the thing about being number 1 and number 2, you get everybody's best. everybody's coming for your head. And Kansas City has some problems this year. It's kind of similar to what we see in Golden State. A little. Let me warm you up a little bit to this, right? Come in closer. Come cuddle with me, right? So you come out and you have this dynamic style of play, and it's so dynamic that nobody can really touch it. But your style of play becomes so dynamic that everybody wants to emulate it. And at some point in time, through emulating it, not only do you learn how to play this way yourself, but you also kind of learn how to guard it a little. But then you see somebody else guard against it, you be like, oh, that was the missing piece. I think we're at a point with Kansas City where a lot of people are not only emulating their offense, but they know how to play with them defensively. But it also does not help. And regardless of what I say, regardless of what I do, let's remember, there's absolutely no sex in the champagne room, but that has nothing to do with this point whatsoever. What I really wanted to tell you is that, regardless of what I say or what I do, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. Right? I'm not making excuses for Kansas City at all. But their defense is bad. And I think that, and not even I think, I'm pretty damn sure that we all recognize how bad Kansas City's defense is. Coming into this game, right? And I mentioned this last week, but I started hearing this for like the last couple of weeks. And what was being brought to my attention was just how historically bad Kansas City's defense is. And how bad Kansas City's defense is, let me explain to you how bad their defense is. I'm pretty sure we all considered Kansas City's offense to be elite, great, top-notch, high-flying. Almost nobody can keep up with them, can emulate them, can do what they do on any given Sunday, on a regular basis on a Sunday. But you know what is happening on a regular basis on a Sunday? Their defense is so bad that teams are looking like Kansas City when they come and play Kansas City. Like, that's how bad it's getting for them. Now, when I see and I hear this, I get flashbacks, because this isn't the first time I've heard this. This isn't the first time that we've witnessed something like this. And let me explain. There has been plenty of dynamic offenses in the past where you look at their defense and be like, can you stop a wet paper bag? Can you not give up the scoring drive? As much as we make fun of Atlanta, thank you. As much as we make fun of Atlanta and Matt Ryan, if your team is up 21-3, 28-3, or if you have a lead going into the half every single game, why am I having to make game-winning plays in the fourth quarter? Why isn't my defense stopping them? But also offense. Why did you stop trying to score? So I thought that Tom Brady would have taught you this in New England. You keep putting points up. You put points up until the buzzer goes off. You build habits of always scoring. Never lulling. Never taking a play off literally. Literally. Whether you're down by 50 or up by 42. This Kansas City and Buffalo game was highly entertaining. It was highly entertaining. And can I say that this weekend was entertaining to begin with? We had Thursday night football entertaining. Entertaining teams. Horrible result. And that game would actually start a pattern that we would be riddled with, poisoned with, plagued with throughout the remaining of the football weekend. But it started off great. And then we had great football, and then we had some great college games that popped up on Saturday. Right? And then we had a great fight Saturday night. And then we had Thursday start off with the game in New England or London, which was good to open up, to start your day off with football. For a second, I kind of felt like how they feel in Cali. But this game between Buffalo and Kansas City. Buffalo, for the last couple of years, has been considered one of those teams that's that's on Kansas City's heels. We see Kansas City beat a team that beat Buffalo last year. So we know, and if you don't know, I'm telling you, we know that Buffalo, at the beginning of the year when their schedule came out, they circled this one. This game was circled. The New England game is no longer circled. They don't even give a fuck anymore. The Jets game is no longer circled. They don't give a fuck anymore. That Dolphins game is not even circled anymore. They don't give a fuck anymore. But you know what game was circled? This Kansas City game was circled. And they knew that they wanted to test themselves against Kansas City in this game. So, like I said, Kansas City, number 2 headband. Buffalo came out and played this game as if it was an early Super Bowl or playoff game. This game mattered. And when I tell you this game mattered, I already told you. They had Josh Allen out here running with the ball in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, up by multiple touchdowns. The Kansas City Chiefs would end up winning this. The Kansas City Chiefs end up losing this game, 38-20. They basically didn't even really score in the whole second half. Buffalo just kept on piling, and there's nothing they could really do. Even by the time they decided, okay, we're basically we're gonna go now to a running formation, it was too late. And even those runs were hitting home runs as well. Kansas City is getting exposed this year. And I know they're having a slow start, and I know that time can heal a lot of things. Man, don't they wish they, like, I know that they are hurting. They really should have gotten Richard Sherman. For whatever he could have given them, they should have gotten Richard Sherman because they need to add some price-effective nasty to that defense. The Honey Badger alone can't do it. They need a couple. They do need a couple more pieces. But I said, as I told you, here goes Josh Allen, not just running, but hurdling players, hurdling. Yes, folks, hurdling players. Josh Allen. There we go. Number 38. Now you see me? Yoink! Super Mario Brothers. Now you don't. He straight hit him with the Super Mario. The only thing that was missing was for him to step on his head and for a coin to pop out. Buffalo took this game kind of easy. I'm not gonna, like I said, this was a bout of heavyweights. Now this wasn't the heavyweight bout that we thought it was going to be. But that happened to be a pattern too of this of what we saw. This creation, you know what I mean? It's based on what we saw. This was just a bout of heavyweights. This was a litmus test for Buffalo to see exactly where are we. But this is an eye opener for Kansas City. This has to be where you have to tell yourself, you know what? We need to get our shit together. We need to get our shit together, and we need to get our shit together pronto. Because starting off 0-2 or 2-2. Now you're dropping down to be 2-3. That ain't gonna cut it. That ain't gonna cut it. You have too many teams that are getting better. Too many teams that you have to worry about. And then, do you want to be in the playoff or the wild card game if you're Kansas City? But also, if you're the rest of the league, do you want to play Kansas City in the in the wild card game? Do you want to play Kansas City as any of those lower seeds? With them feeling like they have a chip on their shoulder all of a sudden again? With them wondering, hey, you know what? People are discounting us. Let's see what we can come out here and do. Instead of feel like they're the favorites. Because even when they were the underdogs, we were rooting for them. We were rooting for them so heavily that they felt like the favorite. They were the baby faces. Wrestling term. I was call it baby heel. But I was just happy I got to see that game. As I said, like we basically just point out, Buffalo will end up winning that game. They will end up improve. They will improve to 4-1. Kansas City will lose that game. They will fall to 2-3. Neither one of these teams. Let me see. We're talking about week 6 here. Have an easy game coming up. Actually, I'm saying that. I'm saying that while I'm stalling to look. Buffalo plays Tennessee. Right, so that's going to be another challenge for Buffalo, as Tennessee look like they may be getting their momentum back. But again, this is why these are show me games. Because if you really are getting that momentum back, this is a game that you need, Tennessee. You're going to have to play Buffalo. You have to play Buffalo hard. And Buffalo's riding high. Like, they are James Jones and riding high. Like, they are balling kind of shit. And if you're Kansas City, you're trying to get back into winning ways, and you're playing Washington. You should beat Washington, because just like how Kansas City's defense is holier than Swiss cheese, well, guess what? Washington and Kansas City's cheese is on the same shelf. And both of them stink. They're both cutting the cheese back. So both of their defenses on what we expected it to be. So Kansas City needs to bounce back game next week, just to make it back to 3-3. Buffalo's going to be tested on Monday night when they play Tennessee. So we get to see Ryan Tannehill, but Derrick Henry, and his squad, and see if they can pull up the 2 straight victories finally for this year. And like I said, I start getting momentum back. Now, speaking of gaining your momentum back, if you've lost a little bit of momentum in the bed, listen here, fellas, that's not something that you need to worry about anymore. Also, if you just want to add a little bit of extra momentum in the bed, fellas, for you guys as well, I got something for you too. Listen, I have the Flintstone vitamins of ED pills. Yes, folks, like this is what we're talking about here. We're talking about a little thing called Blue Chew. What is Blue Chew? Blue Chew happens to be a little blue pill that gives you back your throat. All you gotta do is open up a packet and head to a sack. Just a few chews before you do. But you understand? I'm talking about before you get your Lionel Richie on. Get that all night long. Now, this has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. So trust me when I say this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. Because while it may have the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, it is a fourth of the price. So trust what I'm saying. This is going to make you feel nice. And she's going to love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use this week's promo code of KFYH, that's Kilo Fox Yankee Hotel, you'll be able to get your first order of Blue Chew for free on me. Yes, folks, that is your first order of Blue Chew for free. The only thing you'll have to do is pay shipping and handle, because somebody has to pay the lovely people in our postal service. Or wherever the fuck the extra money goes to. Folks, Blue Chew. There's only two things required. Just chew it, and then just do it. Or just chew it and do it. That's it. And I guarantee you, when you're done, you'll get the check mark from her that you're looking for. Now, let's actually get into the heavyweight bout that really happened. Because while Kansas City and Buffalo was supposed to be a bout of heavyweights, it didn't live up to that. But what was an actual bout of heavyweights that was actually worth the price of admission? Man, if you guys have not seen Rocky 1, 2, and 3, you guys need to go in and watch it. And after you go watch Rocky 1, 2, and 3, then you need to go ahead and watch Tyson Wilder 1, 2, and 3 right after that. Because this is a living, walking, talking Rocky movie. Now, before we get there, before we get into the main card, let's go ahead and give a little shout out to a couple of the undercards that was out there, right? Because there were a couple of undercards that caught my eye. Very first one. I guess you can call it the main event for the preliminary card, right? Which would feature Edgar Berlanga taking on Marcelo Corceras. Now, as we all know, Edgar Berlanga happens to be the young knockout kid from Puerto Rico. He's also residing out, if I'm not mistaken, currently in New York as well. Not quite sure which borough he's residing in, but I know he's Boricua, and he's also from New York, and he's a guy that has been known for having his knockout power. Now, as it currently stands right now, he's only fighting in 10-round matches, so he's still working his way up in the ranks. But everybody that they have put in front of him, at least for the last 3 to 5 fights that I have seen personally, he's put them to sleep. This fight was the first fight that I've seen him tested, and that's what made it so good. Because people were tested tonight. Well, for the most part. People were tested last night, or Saturday night, on that fight card. Berlanga was no different. He was actually dropped for the first time in his career. And it's funny, when you see the guy that gets dropped, that he's like, fuck, like, I shouldn't have gotten dropped. Like, that was, like, I fucked up. That's what Berlanga looked like. That's also what Tyson Fury looked like when he got dropped. We'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah, folks? We got some parallels. So Berlanga gets dropped for the first time. I think it's like in the 3rd or the 4th round, somewhere around there, he gets dropped. And he realizes that he pounds his fist a couple of times. He gets up, looks back at the ref, and then he goes back to work. And him getting dropped actually pumped life into his opponent. Because his opponent now thought, okay, I can hurt this guy. So his activity picked up. All right. Okay, that's cool. Berlanga still walked out of that fight looking like he was not in a fight. The other dude, though, eyes swollen, cheek swollen, lip leaking, girl crying, baby mourning, grandma at home watching the television talking about, oh no, my baby. But Berlanga, this is one of the few fights that actually the only fight that I've seen from Berlanga that actually went the distance. It would go the distance. This would be a unanimous decision. Berlanga would end up winning this fight. Like I said, it was not without its test. I don't want to say controversy, because controversy is the word. It wasn't without its test for Berlanga. So if I'm catching these scorecards right, it was unanimous across the board. 96-93, 96-93, 96-93. All unanimous decision for Edgar Berlanga. And obviously now, the talk now for Edgar Berlanga is, all right, now it's time for you to start stepping up your quality of opponents. You've been fighting a couple of Twinkie Field guys. No disrespect to the people you've been fighting, but these aren't the guys that is really going to put your name and keep your name in the spotlight. Or at least not put your name and keep your name in the spotlight that you want for yourself. That you envision being with somebody with this kind of knockout talent and undefeated record. But happy for Berlinger, and we're gonna see who his next opponents end up being, and what kind of paydays, or what kind of fights, what kind of belts that he may start going to go after. Also on the fight card, all right, and I just had to mention this because this fight was also very one-sided, and it was horrible. It was horribly one-sided. Because as soon as it started, you knew it was over. Now, granted, I'm going to tell you this. It's the fight between Robert Helenius and Adam Kovanatsky, right? And I don't know shit about either one of these fighters. But as they're announcing them, I see that Adam Kovanatsky is from Brooklyn. So naturally, I see that. I'm like, okay, bam. I have my rooting interest for this fight. I'm going for the guy from Brooklyn. Boy, was I wrong. Oh, man, was I wrong. Now, even after I said I was going for the guy from Brooklyn, very, very shortly afterwards, I ended up reading, they ended up popping a caption across the screen. And Robert Helenius won his very first fight in America against Adam Kovanatsky. So I'm like, okay, all right, that's cool. So he's already fucked this dude up once before, a long ass time ago. Now, so let's see if any one of these guys have grown since then. Let's see what kind of fight this is gonna end up being. And I'm telling you right now, this fight was over in the very first 7 seconds. 15 at most, if you want to be nice, polite, and say that he needed some time to come to the center of the ring and start throwing some punches. But I'm telling you right now, I saw Adam Kovanatsky go up to Robert Helenius, and he just started throwing punches at him. Just started wailing at him, body punches. Head down, started digging in. And Robert Helenius just stood there, just straight up, and barely protected himself. And just looked at this guy and was like, I'm not feeling any of these. You can't hurt me. And proceeded to fight him like a big brother that was fighting his little brother that was not feeling any, and I don't mean any, of the punches that his little brother was throwing. Oh yeah, folks. Oh yeah. This is another one of those fights. We told you how Berlanga ended up leaving that fight. Berlanga left that fight looking pretty after 12 rounds. That's because he went the distance. This individual, Kovanatsky, would not be so lucky. Kovanatsky will get lumped up for 6 straight rounds. Let me tell you how sorry this nigga was. Let me tell you how sorry this nigga was. I just said to you that he came into this fight and he was throwing punches and it didn't even look like he could hurt his opponent. Well, here we are for 5 rounds, not doing any damage. He's trying, he's feeling great. When mom comes back, I'm gonna tell her that you wouldn't let me have any Cheerios. When dad comes back, I'm gonna tell him you wouldn't let me watch Backyardigans. Like, that's how he looked like he was fighting. The referees and the medical team, they thought about stopping this fight in the 5th round, but they was like, you know what? After the 5th, it's like, you know what? We'll let you come out. We'll give you some more time. And let's just say that I'm just going to assume that Kovanatsky must have been embarrassed, because what he tried to do after that was take Robert Helenius' manhood in the 6th round. Literally tried to take his manhood. What Adam Kownacki would very pathetically do. And I say pathetic because this is a boxing match. If this is a regular fight, I understand. This is a street fight with no rules. I can understand. You get yourself an opportunity, you feel like you're not winning. Even if you feel like you're winning, I can understand you punching somebody in the dick. Fuck it. It's a fight. You're trying to win. I get it. I mean, is it the smoothest move in the world? Is it the move that's going to get you the biggest amount of clout? No. But you know what you are going to get? You're going to get yourself a Jameis Winston snack special. You're going to eat some W's. And that's all that matters. So Kownacki would end in the 6th, will go into the 6th round, and he would start uppercutting dude in his dick. Where the referee was like, okay, I've warned you. I've seen enough. This is just starting to be blatant. You're disqualified. So he was like, you know what? If I'm going to lose, I'm not going to let myself be knocked out by this motherfucker. I'd rather be disqualified. And when those thoughts came to me, I was like, if that was not the most Brooklyn shit ever, so while I'm highly disappointed in him, the Brooklyn in me fully understands, like, yo, fuck that. Hey, yo, if I'm gonna get my ass whooped, like, I'm taking this nigga with me. Oh, bam, 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 bam. 16 shots to the nuts. It's just like, fuck that. I'm not gonna get my ass whooped. I'd rather be disqualified and let you whoop my ass. Like, that's some Brooklyn mentality. I'd rather get disqualified than to let you whoop my ass. That's some Brooklyn. I'd rather throw myself in front of a moving cab than let you whoop my ass. That's some Brooklyn shit. Motherfuckers be like, yo, I'd rather stab myself in the arm than let you whoop my ass. Like he was like, yo, I'd rather be DQ'd than let you whoop my ass. Now, granted, it still goes down as a technical knockout. But it was a DQ. And he got himself disqualified because of how much he was getting his ass whooped. But now that was not the case for our heavyweight fight and main event of the evening, which showcased Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury for the third time, folks. The first matchup, it would end in a draw. Wilder had the belt. He would retain his belt. Even though most people thought that he lost that fight, Wilder's ability to knock Fury down in the very last round helped sway some of those cards, is said to believe. Second fight turns around, B, knockout in 5. Actually, you know what? I really can't tell you how many times a round went by before he was knocked out, but I do think I got a homeboy that can tell you how many times a round went by.
5 times.
5 rounds. It was a knockout. So what did I say to myself? If I knocked you out in the 5th round the first time, then you know what? I really know how to get to you now. I'm going to knock you out in the 3rd. I'm going to fill you out in the 1st and knock you out by the 3rd. I was so close to being right. Now, he didn't knock him out in the 3rd. But what he did do, Tyson Fury that is, was get his first knockdown in the 3rd. Now, let's back up a little bit. Couple of changes that you saw. Obviously, Deontay Wilder no longer had that big-ass fucking Cuban Gooding Jr. Navy SEAL. I'm trying to be the first black Navy SEAL suit on. Like, he didn't have that shit on. He had a mask. And he had... And his clothing was filled with fur and regular cloth material, right? Instead of being made out of metal and wood and platinum and lions and tigers and bamboo, oh my. Lumber, tile, and bamboo, right? He decided he came down in a different outfit. So that was the very first thing he did. You saw him become more aggressive in the 4th round, but the reason why you saw the change of aggression in the 4th round is because Deontay Wilder would end up eating that mat in the 3rd round. And here I am like, oh, there it goes. When he goes down in the 3rd, I'm saying to myself, there it goes. There goes the knockout. But it wasn't. Deontay Wilder got back up. Said, I shall not go quietly into the night. But then, we get to the 4th round. And the 4th round was probably the most shocking round that we could have imagined. And the reason why the 4th round wasn't up being shocking, because something happened that has never happened in Tyson Fury's career ever. And that was he was knocked down twice in one round. So we came from the 3rd round where Tyson Fury had just won that round 10-8. But then we turn around and Tyson Fury gets knocked down twice in the 4th, and he would end up losing this round 10-7. Like we said, Wilder, he came back a little bit more productive with a lot more urgency. You saw him trying to work that jab. Actually, from the beginning of the fight, you saw him trying to work the jab a little bit more. That was one of the very first things that you noticed. But you see him, his activity stepped up. And then he caught him with the caught him with the GTS, to go to sleep. Now, Tyson Fury ends up being a different character than most, because what put most men to sleep just gave this guy a short nap, a short siesta. He was like, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm up. He basically laid there to catch his breath. But it did happen twice. And that'll be the last time that it happened. From the 4th on, it was basically Fury, 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 fist of Fury, kicks of Fury, Tyson Fury, hands of Fury, brain of Fury, moves of Fury, whatever it was. It was all Fury. Nick Fury, Avengers, it was all of it.
Everybody take a jump, take a jump, take a jump up now.
I see you still feeling.
Start a wave, start a wave, start a wave up now. Start a wine, start a wine, start a wine up now, because it's Carnival. Yes, I'm still off the high of Carnival weekend.
That's what's up.
Oh, it was lit out there. Lord have mercy. Out of mercy.
So we actually called it in time. We were just that's what's wrong up here.
Yeah, me and wifey.
We were just getting into the Wilder and Fury fight.
Lord, talk about a weekend. It's I actually said this. I said this to myself by the time I went to bed Saturday night. I said, God damn it. The weekend that I'm really not sports available, because Carnival weekend, and on top of that, me and wifey, we needed our time. We needed our time too. Shit been weird. So this weekend was actually very good for us too. On Carnival weekend, on top of that, I'm like, the one weekend when I really make myself unavailable to sports, all this crazy shit happened. From the fight, I still saw the fight, don't get me twisted. From the fight to, I know you don't care about this, but college football, there were 3-4 games that were just like, I'm like, damn, why couldn't y'all been like this while I was chilling, watching these shits at the house? Oklahoma, Texas, Ole Miss, Arkansas, you serious? Alabama, even Penn State, Iowa. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? The only thing that came to my mind was NFL. You guys clamor and complain for your own day. You guys make all these sports happen the day before, so we focus on you. You saw what yesterday was. Don't fuck it up. I ain't gonna lie, it didn't live up to expectation. It didn't live up to what Saturday did. There was one game that lived up to what Saturday was. One game.
I thought I was satisfied and pleased by Sunday's games.
I mean, don't get it twisted. Like, they were good games, you feel me? But Saturday was crazy. Crazy. Like, in terms of a sports day like Saturday, think about the last time we had a sports day like that. Like that. Not in terms of all these events going on. Just in terms of just the way these games, these fights, these matches, these baseball games turned out. By the way, there was a robbery in Fenway. A robbery! Ooh. But we on the fight right now. Ooh. Let's stick to the fight. We gonna talk about that robbery? You know about that robbery I'm talking about? Ooh.
You talking about the... But we ain't talking about being dunked on. Little
I
toe
swear,
tag. A little toe tag.
Hey, that rookie is balling out for them.
Oh, you talking about the tight end?
No, I'm talking about Arizona, that receiver right there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was Atlanta and Pitts for a second.
Oh, he balled too. Finally,
He did.
for my fantasy team.
He did.
It sucks that it took George Kittle out for 3 weeks.
So let's continue. Right, as I was saying, like, so Tyson Fury will end up going down in the 4th, right? And that'll end up being like the first top ever that he's ever been knocked down twice in one round.
Twice.
So that round goes 10-7. After that, it's all Tyson. It's all Fury. It's Fist of Fury. It's Feet of Fury. It's Nick Fury. You understand? It's all Fury. It's, hey babe, look at me. Look what I'm doing. I'm fighting. I'm fighting over here. You like that, don't I? I'm too sexy for my gloves. Too sexy for my gloves. Too sexy. Because afterwards,
that nigga puts on a clinic.
yo,
A clinic.
can I tell you?
Like he makes Wilder and Joshua. I mean, credit Wilder. He hung in there, but he makes both of them look bad when it comes to their fighting.
I'm gonna tell you this.
To their fighting.
If we had to compare them and call them dancers, they look. Tyson Fury looks like the stereotypical black dancer, and he's making these guys look like the stiff white guys.
like clowns. Like clowns.
like God. And the thing about it, so I go to Sharky's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I waited a while because I already know what's up. I already know what time that these fights start. I don't have any real rush as long as I'm catching the majority of it while I'm here. Ben? It's about Ben?
Hmm?
Oh, no, I see something Coach I said. Was that about Ben?
No, it's not Ben. It's the John Gruden. The Morris Smith responded.
We gonna get into that. We gonna get into that. Hold on to that, please.
Yeah. The Morris Smith sent his response.
Hold on to that. Damn.
Lord have his mercy.
I feel like I should get into that next. We just made since we got new developing story on that one. So I go to the bar and I'm gauging the audience as I do. You know me, I'm mingling with everybody. Right, it was a good night too. I ran into one of my old homeboys. I ran into a couple of old homegirls. Like it's a great fucking night. Like one of my homegirls, like she was down here out of town, but she left her boyfriend in town, like out of town or whatever. But they moved to Tallahassee. I didn't know they moved to Tallahassee. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know that shit. She's like, yeah, we've been moved. I was like, Ben moved. Like, yeah, we moved in February. I'm like, that was like 6 months ago. Don't say Ben. Like, it's been half a year.
Yeah, Ben moved. Like, nigga, you still trying to get accustomed to the area.
For real.
You probably don't even have all your shit up there talking about Ben moved.
Like you
Ben moved, you make it sound like you've been up there 2-3 years.
Like
Niggas be sleeping.
Like you still got a TV on a box. Stop it right
Fuck
now.
out of here. Stop it right now. Stop it right now. You still trying to get Xfinity, DirecTV, or whoever the fuck to come hook it up.
Like, you would even shoot your driver's license over
Shit,
yet.
nigga. Your ass is waiting for the first time the police to pull you over.
Like, no, I just moved. Like, that's 2 months ago. We haven't gotten it done yet.
And the police gonna be like, 2 months ago, you know the standard is 10 days, right? Like, oh, yeah.
I thought you had like 2 months or 3 months. Oh, no.
No. When you move, brother, they give you 10 days.
Shit. Don't tell New Yorkers that. Especially when
Oh.
the motherfuckers used to come back and motherfuckers we used to wait like 4 years
B,
holding on to the
listen,
New York license.
Nigga, what?
No, not only that.
Nigga,
And for
what?
some reason, like holding on to a relationship, like a good friend, like, yo, man, I use your address, all right?
Listen,
If you see this
B.
come for you, let me know. I haven't been back to New York for 5 years. Still holding on to the New York drive.
Hell yeah.
Just in case. You never know.
Just in case.
We'll go back and have something for drive. Like, stop it right now. You can use your floor light. You just want to hold on to that New York license.
You goddamn right I do.
You can still keep it.
Of course,
You don't
yeah.
have to turn it. You don't have to turn it in.
Exactly. It's like school. It's like a yearbook. Boom. I still got my yearbook from school. This nigga Kyler Murray. Jesus Christ.
So, I'm there and I'm at Shorty's and I'm gauging the whole shit, right? And I'm going through the crowd. And the majority of the rooted interest is on Tyson Fury.
I was supposed to make it. Shorty was too knocked out from Carnival. Look, you rookie. This is how it goes down. You go to Carnival, and that's it. You get home, you take a little nap, and then it's on to the rest of the day. But no, afterward we had to drive around for like another 2.5 hours for her to find something to wear for tomorrow, even though I already helped her find something the night before. Listen, men all out there, you know y'all feel me on this. Helping y'all woman find a fit to wear for anything is hell. Cause ain't nothing more annoying than helping them find a goddamn fit only for later on. I do all this driving like, yo, we solved this shit last night. But of course you can't say nothing because you say something. Now you got a whole nother problem on your hands.
This is why mowing the lawn was invented.
Lord.
Like, hey, man, can you help me pick out this? Man, look at this lawn.
See, I don't have that luxury. Man, stay in an apartment.
Man, these leaves, they ain't gonna rake themselves up, man. I gotta do some. I gotta run to Home Depot. What did you get back from Home Depot? I got a lighter.
I don't got that luxury yet, man. I'm in a fucking apartment. I was bugged. I said, bro, that's why I didn't make the show Friday. All I'm doing is helping this motherfucker get her carnival fit ready for one for Saturday, one for Sunday. And then afterward, tired as hell, it's 1:32 p.m. We coming from fucking FIU, come all the way up to fucking Oakland Park looking for some shit. We didn't get to the crib. It's 5 o'clock. I said, yo, motherfucker really just spent about a good 3 hours looking for shit people with, and I haven't ate yet? It took, trust me, brother man, you be proud of me. I stayed nice and calm, reserved. I didn't snap. I ain't nothing.
Let them
I was bubbling.
Let them have gone a day like that without eating all kinds of shit.
Lord,
and they're driving around, and we're looking for something.
Lord. Listen, we would have to drop their ass off with food at the crib while we go handle our business. But when it's us, we gotta thug it out with them. It be that bullshit. It's that bullshit right there, son. Damn it. But then we get home, you know, you eat, you do the nasty things, and then all of a sudden, I'm tired, I don't take a nap. Like, yo, but we still gonna get up, go watch the fight, right? At Sharky's? Because usually at Sharky's or one of my other peoples who live not too far from here, they was doing something at the house. We used to go, like, yeah, we going. 10 o'clock come. Yo, babe, you still sleeping. I thought we was gonna go. And this is me getting ready and shit. Like, I thought we was gonna go. Like, oh, babe, I'm too tired. So I can go? I'm gonna head out then. What so you just gonna leave me now? I say, alright. I said, alright. I'm trying to enjoy my weekend. You know, this is repair weekend. This is not arguing weekend. So you know what?
Weekend so far, I'm like,
you know what? I'm like, I'm not doing this. I was like, alright. I'm just put the fight on the TV outside. You can get some sleep. Next thing you know, I'm ready to go to bed 1 a.m. She now all she got the energy. I said, I look at some motherfucker. No. No!
Listen, get off me!
I was on my petty shit. I said, yo, now you got energy? I was trying to go watch the fight. Now you got energy? Now you want to go to this other party? No! We staying in the house.
What's going on, Ron? And of course we got our daily visitor that loves the podcast but hates himself.
Oh, word! We got some caca going on in the chat.
What I think it is that it's the same person, and they change their podcast name every single time,
name just so they can come in.
But it's something because it's something similar every single time, and they do the same thing. They come in there, they don't say shit. They like the they like the show. They share the shit, and they go about their business.
Damn, that's crazy.
But it's okay.
Hey, we appreciate all love here.
For real.
We appreciate all love.
You know what they said? Like, get them on fans, be your haters.
Word. I mean,
like
they sharing the show.
Like, If that's not evidence, right?
That's
there,
love to me.
That's pure evidence.
That's love to me. You sharing the
like
show.
you got some weird hate going on, but apparently,
you still sharing
the podcast is still
it's
fire.
still love.
He's like, as much as I hate black people, this podcast is the shit.
You're not from Brooklyn, because Brooklyn has spread positive love. Your ass might be from Westchester or some shit, but we appreciate it.
That's a real big up to the show. That's saying that as much as I hate black people, y'all need to watch this show because this show is actually pretty good and good.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Like that's what I read.
Aren't you proud of me? Because about a year ago,
you went off.
Oh yeah,
you man.
You remember that one song, Quarantine? Where I was literally in the comments going back and forth with somebody.
Oh my God, yo, I remember that dude that trolled the shit out of you. And then he came back like the next podcast like, I trolled the shit out of your boy. I had him here, and I was like, I see like. Just,
as soon as it was
the breadcrumbs was just there, and I seen you picking them up. I was like, oh look,
as soon as it was over, I was
getting this chicken coop.
As soon as it was over, I was like, fuck, he got me on the show, and I know T about to get my ass for that shit too. Oh, don't get it twisted. T got my ass the next time I saw him say, B, come on, son. You gotta be better than this. This is one of the few times I've seen T upset. Like, generally, T, you see how T happy, go lucky. Even if he getting on you, it's still like a, this is one time where I was, oh, damn, you actually tight. My fault, but never again. See, I've gotten better, though. Gotten better. I just laugh with T on the shits.
Cause what am I supposed to say? Like, that's what
That's what you do right there. You smoke. You smoke. You go to the Nate Dogg School of Medicine.
Exactly. We already giving it way more energy than it actually deserves. But I mean, you came and left and share the show, so we give you your 5 minutes. That's apparently what you wanted. You wanted attention somehow. Like you wanted attention, like a chick that's been driving around waiting for her man to shop while she has to been fed all goddamn thing. Like.
God forbid, on a Saturday too. On a Saturday. So, you just trying to be home.
Can I tell you that Tyson Fury may honestly right now be my favorite boxer?
He is, bro.
Not fight wise, personality,
entertainment,
because
trolling.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna lose you for half a second, only for one word and one word only. Guys like him, Conor McGregor, and even Floyd Mayweather, they are why people watch wrestling, in a sense. Because they come out there and they know how to promote themselves. They are working antagonists. They know how to sell a show. They know how to make a storyline out of nothing. That's basically what wrestling is. They took the essence of sports, the shit talking, the build up, that's basically what ESPN's trying to do. They try to build up a game for a whole entire week, and the game turns into shit. Well, that's kind of what wrestling is. It's a build up. It's a build up an event that they orchestrate.
I'll let you know right now. If there is ever a day where you could just say anything that typically triggers me, this is the day, because I'm in such a good mood. I had such a talking about WWE. That don't bother me right now, B. I had a great weekend. And then on top of that, the real people who go to Carnival, you don't go to work today. You think I went to work today? Hell no. I had the day off. I was cozy in the crib, drinking some more, having more sex.
But even Muhammad Ali,
Blue Chew would be proud of me.
Definitely. We did give it away. Right?
Yeah, trust me. The way you segued into it, I was like, God damn it! How does he do this shit?
I don't know. It just finally comes to a point.
It was like, speaking of momentum, I said, "Hey yo!" I was driving. I almost swerved because I was laughing so hard at the way you segued into it. Damn it, man.
But so Tyson Fury may be my favorite fighter in boxing, and it's not just for his boxing style, but also for what he does, because he's also a showman. He's the essence of Muhammad Ali. He's the essence of
brand yourself.
Yeah, like and he knows
the fight.
And some of the stuff that he's saying isn't to sell the fight. He's just kind of that braggadocious. That's his natural personality.
It's like, I'm that nigga, and until somebody does something about it, I'm that nigga.
I don't know if you guys ever saw Afro Samurai, that anime. Right now, he is the #1 headband. And he basically came out and said that. He said, yo, Deontay Wilder, he's a hell of a fucking fighter, but he's #2. And he's been a hell of a great dance partner for me to whoop up on for 3 fights. That's basically what he said. I'm ad-libbing a little, but that's basically what he says. Like, he said, he came out.
Deontay went out like a sucker for not at least acknowledging the fact
he did.
He went out like a sucker for that.
He should have at least shook his hand or something.
Because that was a great fight too.
It really was
a great fight.
Like, you didn't.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't go
unequivocally. You had our respect. Unequivocally, you had our respect. You went out on your sword. You went out like a sucker. And then you put and then you did that. You're like, oh, come on, man.
We giving you love and credit here, and then you pull that sucker shit. Nobody telling you suck the nigga dick and all that be all over him, but at least dap the man up.
Just big in the moment. Have a sucker-free Sunday.
For real.
You know what I mean?
All it took a little head nod and a little fist pump.
Oh, big up the Big Tigger. Didn't he just make a comeback? His show is back now, right?
Yeah, Rap City back. I said,
yeah.
But you know, I hadn't watched it because you know nothing equivalent to the original.
The
original Rap City, rap.
But you know what I want to see.
City,
you know what I really want to.
Rap City, rap.
You know all I care about.
Rap,
to be honest with you, and it's probably the same thing that we all cared about when it came to the original Rap City. I don't care about the videos, even for today's rappers. I want to see these motherfuckers. I want to see these motherfuckers spit because
the freestyle.
You know what?
Niggas had Hov walk through there.
Luda
walk through there.
I don't think these young niggas got bars like that. I don't think they can rap without a paper in front of them or their phone in front of them. But yo, big shout out to Big Tig and bringing back and having Rap City come back. I was really happy to see that. I was really happy to hear that, and I really do. When I say that, I am so excited back for these freestyles. Now the thing about it, with today's media, look at Lance out here looking like a Kaepernick. This is something interesting. Right now I have the San Francisco and Arizona game on in the background for me right now as I'm rewatching this one. This is as far as I got to. We watched a couple of games today. I think I rewatched Green Bay, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Kansas City, New Orleans, Washington, Cleveland, LA. Oh man, Cleveland, LA, that was funny. I didn't watch Chicago, Las Vegas, but I do want to mention something about that. So we're gonna talk about John Gruden as well. But Lance, I'm looking at Lance maneuver, and yeah, see, here it goes again. The quick scramble, and yeah, he is really giving me Colin Cap. Now this is because he's also in the San Francisco uniform, and as I'm seeing him move, and I'm seeing the long legs, and I'm seeing the strides, it's giving me flashbacks of when this team had Cam Newton. I haven't seen enough of his game to say any other part of his game reminds me of Cam Newton. It's really just the color scheme probably right now. The color scheme and the position. So, back to this fight. I ended up realizing that Tyson Fury is really one of my favorite fighters out there. And it's not just because of his skill set, but also... Hey, can you go to the room? Let's go to the room. And it's not just because of his skill set, but it's also because of his braggadocious nature. It's probably the same. It's the same reason why people gravitate. And you heard me mention all of their names. It's the people why people gravitated to Floyd Mayweather. It's the reason why people gravitated to Muhammad Ali. It's the reason why people gravitated to Conor McGregor. And when I say gravitate, you have to fully understand. I mean that they watched him out of love and they watched him out of hate. They watched him to watch him win and they watched him to watch him to lose religiously. And I think we're getting it with Tyson Fury as a heavyweight, where When he fights, I want to watch. But when he talks, I want to watch. When he's interviewed, I want to watch. If a camera is on him, whether he realizes it or not, big pause, I want to watch. This was a battle of, these guys don't understand. This was a battle of gladiators. They both dropped each other at least twice in this fight. Each. Before it was stopped in the 11th round for Tyson Fury. But after this fight was done, this is the crazy thing. This is the part that adds to my love fest with him. Sports love fest. Where all money is legal. Right after the fight, this dude was out there raving. Like, that's the crazy thing about it. One, he left the fight looking kind of pretty, barely touched, not too many lumps. While the other person he's fighting, like his mouth is leaking like he's drooling over a pack of Kool-Aid. You understand? But not Tyson. Tyson is almost unscathed. And he's at the club. Shirt off. Raving. Like, if that don't put a smile on your face, then it does the other thing. It puts a frown on your face. But it still makes my point. He is 100%. 100%. Must see. He's a gravitational pull. He like you gravitate.
Tyson Fury could be fighting tomorrow. Motherfuckers is dropping everything. Make sure they're available.
Like I said, you're going to watch him. You're going to watch him talk, watch him fight. All of it.
Every part of it.
Now, thank you. Let's go from one individual of greatness to another.
Brady?
Greatness. Another great.
Brady?
No, even greater than Brady. Much greater than Brady. The WNBA.
Ooh!
Has made.
Love to see it.
That's a fact.
That's a love to see it.
That's real spit right there. That's what's up.
Love to see it. Diana!
The WNBA has made an official announcement because there was a vote. I don't know who it is. Vote by the people. Vote by the fans. Vote by the players.
It didn't take no vote. If you watch the WNBA and you a hooper, you pay attention to this shit, you know who the GOAT is. It don't take no damn vote.
Now we've called her we've called her the female Kobe on this podcast.
Shit, me.
Right? But the WNBA and her own community has officially goated her.
She is the GOAT.
She is one of the few individuals that I give the title LL in front of their name. And what that LL stands for, not ladies love, no. It stands for living legend. While they're still playing.
Living legend. Long live.
Unfortunately, there's also one other person worthy of that description right now in all of sports. And he happens to be a football player. See? I can respect it. He gets an LL. He gets 2 L's from me.
But you see, he won't say his name, right?
What? He gets 2 L's from me.
You see, he won't
Because
say
we're not
his
talking
name.
about him. I don't want him to overcompass the conversation.
He won't say his name. He won't say his. No, this is just like the Black Lives. Say his name.
I'm like Matt Jones right now. Listen, he's an LL. No, he's nice with it. He puts up his.
I mean, you gotta give him love. He at least shitted on the Dolphins for you.
Man.
AB, love to see it. Yes. 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 Yes.
Can I tell you? I was
Fantasy team. Yes.
Oh man, I was so happy for that because I bet my eyebrows on that game.
AB.
You weren't here for it.
What happened?
I bet my eyebrows on that game. I was so confident that Tampa Bay will whip Miami. I said if Miami wins, I will shave my eyebrows. I said on the podcast Friday, yeah.
So I was on my romance thing with the missus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you was in a situation where you needed eyebrows. Actually, maybe you could have gone without some eyebrows. You could have gone with a couple of expressions without anybody noticing.
No, I can't hide my expressions.
Especially at Carnival.
B, listen, B. I don't do that shit. One thing about me, the peeking thing, I don't really do that. And if I do it, I'm so subtle with it. You really gotta catch me.
Oh, peek. I point out. Hey, baby, look at that ass. God damn.
I barely look. For one, I'm so worried about making sure that, because for one, that was her first time going.
Ooh,
so
true.
You gotta make sure.
You trying to make sure you get the full experience and everything.
Yeah. So what the fuck I look like getting caught looking at some other shit, or just making her feel insecure or uncomfortable being there?
Word.
You feel me? Now then she don't want to ever go again, and for as long as I'm with her, I can't basically go to Carnival.
That's true too.
God forbid that.
Cause she ain't gonna let you go alone, and she don't go damn self anymore.
God forbid that. Cause I'm not gonna hold you. I definitely had some times out there. I was like, Lord, if I was out here by myself or just with my crew, with my peoples.
Loving the crew, and loving the crew. Say she's loving the crew. Yo, can I tell you, some basketball player said that's their Drake go-to song to get warmed up to? I was like, wait, whoa. And it wasn't Dwight Howard.
Let me break this down. Now the song, but that's not weird in terms of a player listening to like a calm song before a game. Because I was the type, because think about it, you were already going into a game like in your head like, fuck, you already hyped up, maybe too antsy to the point where you feel like if you're at a certain point you won't feel as productive. I felt like that going into high school football games, baseball games, especially baseball and basketball. We were competing for championships in high school. We competed for championships, state in both of those. So like, I needed something. I'm already going into the game hyped, antsy. I needed something to calm me down. Niggas, I'd be listening to Stevie Wonder on the court warming up. I'd be listening to Smokey Robinson. I'd be listening to Mary J. Blige and shit. Type stuff.
Got you. I see a couple familiar faces popping up in the podcast. I see Ron in there. I see Text in there. But no, it's a big shout out to Diana Taurasi, folks. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Basically, they have goaded her as they have deemed her the greatest female player of the greatest WNBA player of all time. That's basically what they gave her. And if you're currently watching, or if you're currently paying attention, she currently has her team up 1-0 in the NBA Finals. The next game is on October 13th, and that's in 2 more days. That's gonna be on Wednesday night. So we'll have that on while we have the podcast on this next Wednesday. See, this is one of those weird games, to be honest with you, a weird series, because my New York Liberty isn't in there. And after the New York Liberty, there's not really too many WNBA teams that I don't like. The only team that I have a beef with is Connecticut, and that's because of their Boston ties, right? Like, I don't like, I just make sure I have to keep that real. But other than that, we're talking about a Chicago team, and we're talking about a Phoenix team. So we're talking about these, and when it comes to these two teams, they both kind of have living legends. Because Candace Parker is an LL in her own right. Alright? She's an LL Candace Parker. And this is one of those series, I think I just want it to go to as many games as it can possibly. I want it to go down to a final elimination game. I want to watch these two giants in the WNBA battle it out for supremacy, to be honest with you. And we're talking about two of the living legends of the game right now. We're talking about Candace Parker. Candace Parker, Rookie of the Year, NBA champion, MVP, all in her first year in the WNBA with the LA Sparks. And I just told you how everybody feel about Diana Taurasi. So you add them two together, you put them in the finals, and we're probably talking about, if not the best, one of the best, if not the best, we're talking about number 2, at worst number 3. So we're talking about one of the best big women we've ever seen play in the WNBA, in Candace Parker, going up against one of the greatest players we've ever seen in Diana Taurasi. It's really as if when Shaq met MJ, but now they both got rings, and they're both with their super teams, and they're both a little bit out of their prime, but they're both a factor, bona fide factor. This WNBA series has been interesting. This whole entire WNBA playoff run has been interesting, and I'm telling you, from the moment, and this is why I wish I bet more consciously, because from the moment they had the brackets, I probably would have bet for Chicago and Phoenix to make it to the WNBA championship, based off of the caliber of player each one of them had on their team. There's only one time I would have bet against them, and that would have been in New York. That would have been in the very first round when they played New York. After that, I would have went straight chalk, because New York pick would have been my heart. Other than that, everything else would have been the greatness of it. So let's make sure we give her a little bit of love, because that, we understand, if you know sports, right, or if you dive deep into sports, you get to understand that while accolades from the outside world is cool, right, the recognition from your peers is even greater. And this LL award that they gave Diana is also recognition from her peers. And that's what makes it even sweeter. This isn't just the writers, the commentators, the fans, and everyone. This is all of that and your peers saying, yeah, you have been goated. You are an LL. The only problem now, being a living legend, you need to watch out for Randy Orton, because Randy Orton is a legend killer. And he will come out there.
Okay, oh, your ass.
That is the only problem. That is the only thing you have to worry about. But I think you may be okay. Now, we talked about a couple of fights, right? And we talked about some greatness. Let's talk about Platinum Pro Wrestling for a little bit, right? And talk about their next event, folks. Platinum Pro Wrestling is going to be having their next event at 10 Vernon Specialty Automobiles, folks, off of 3301 North 7th Avenue, Miami, Florida 33150. And what is it they're going to be having exactly, folks? They're going to be presenting to you their fall show, their spooktacular event, Hollow Slam. Yes, folks, as you know, around this time every single year, Platinum Pro Wrestling puts on their event called Hollow Slam. So not only will you get about 10 lovely matches that you'll be able to see, we're also going to have a raffle, and you know that raffle gives away multiple prizes. But they're also going to, we're going to be having also a Halloween costume contest as well, and giving away a prize for that. But let me tell you the biggest draw that's going to be going on at this event. The biggest draw that's going to be going on at this event is that during the intermission is going to be a performance by Mark 350, folks. This is going to be his first ever live performance. This is something that you don't want to miss. When I say, like, listen, when I tell you like
hype.
When I tell you that you see how much I talk about Blue Chew, this is something you want to take, you want to get to even more. You understand? Like, you definitely want to be.
You're gonna be hyped.
You're definitely gonna be hyped. You're going to be hyped from all kinds of. You're going to be hyped from watching good matches, and you're going to be hyped from good music. And if you're into classic cars, you may actually come out of there seeing a car that you may want to buy.
Diamond in the back, sun rooftop. Digging the scene.
Because Ted Vernon's specialty automobiles, those special Oh, I'm missing Monday Night Football, ain't I?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bother you because the last time I was complaining about Monday Night Football not being on,
it was only because it was the okay, time out. Oh, you was complaining about Monday Night Football at 7:30. When there was nothing on
but
yet.
like I said, I just waited, and as soon as it was game time, I just put the game on my phone until you realize that it's Monday Night Football, and you put the game on.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even realize it until because I've been watching football all day, so I've already been in that mode. So I didn't even realize that the game was on yet. But we do have one more game to get to, folks. This Monday night. This is the Baltimore and Indiana
Lamar!
game. We have Lamar Jackson versus Taylor, basically. Hey, that's all that's left, right? On this Indiana team.
So no love for Carson Wentz.
I mean, he's healthy.
When is Carson Wentz healthy? Be?
Exactly. Like I'm not even sure if he's there or not. Like,
B, trust me, he's there. I wouldn't even be watching this fucking game if he was there, cause I would know the Ravens about to blow this ass out. Pause.
well, they about to blow him out regardless.
But at least it'll be entertaining, cause at least it's like, hey, Carson, you was there. You got work too, nigga. But then again, you never know. Marquise could decide to go back to dropping passes again. So
That's true too. That is true too. So don't forget, folks. Listen, you're gonna want to catch Platinum Pro Wrestlers next event. That's gonna be on October 22nd. That's gonna be Friday night.
Antonio out here holding up the family name and shit, cause this nigga fucking up.
The doors open at 7:15, but if you buy yourself a VIP pass, the doors will open at 6:45. VIP passes, as you see, get yourself early entries. It also gets you preferred seating, and it also gets you pictures with the wrestlers as well. That's all for the price of the VIP tickets. If you can't make it there to the event, you can also catch the event on Fight TV, folks. All you have to do is download the Fight app. That's FITE. Now, if you go ahead and you look on my page, I have dropped a link for the Fight app as well. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pin that to the top for a while. We'll see how that works. I may actually, you know what? I'm gonna do something different. Go to my link tree. Go to my link tree tomorrow, and you'll find the link for the Fight TV app. And what you're looking for, you're looking to get yourself a 1 week free subscription of Fight TV. So you don't have to worry about paying for the app when we have our next event. Use my code. Get yourself a free week of Fight TV. Use it specifically for that fight, and bada bing, bada boom, you got the fight in the room. How you doing? That's it. Platinum Pro Wrestling, Fight TV, Vernon's Automobile is all coming together. Platinum Pro Wrestling's a cut above the rest.
Shit.
And being in South Florida, you want your stuff always to be a cut above the rest. Because we only like it when it's perfectly cut.
That nigga Carson can't even run. His ankle's so fucked up.
So since we're talking about a bunch of other goats, right? We talked about Tyson Fury. He's doing goat-like things. We talked about Diana Taurasi. She's out there doing goat-like things.
Goat! Yes! My favorite. I'd pay to go watch her play. Right now. I paid to go watch her play. And I wouldn't even hesitate. Like, second. Diana Taurasi. See? Miami. Y'all fuck it up. Where the fuck is the WNBA team? Because I tell you right now, if Diana Taurasi coming to play tomorrow, I'm dropping bread to go watch her play ball.
I'm telling you, I have a feeling that we'll get another team back in West Palm, close to the soccer stadium, before we get another team in Miami for some odd reason.
Listen,
Because
if the
they'll
team
try.
is in West Palm,
It's
I
even
don't
better.
care. I don't care. I will drive up there, go watch Diana Taurasi work, and then I will drive over to the downtown. What they call that? City? Is it City Place? Or City whatever? In West Palm, but shit is beautiful. My God, I'll go over there afterward and get my drink on and vibe.
Oh, not even that. It's like in Pompano, actually. What am I saying? Like Pompano Beach area-ish. It's over there by the airport. The private airport. Over there by Powerline and... That's what
Oh
it's named
yeah. Where the soccer team plays. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Yeah,
listen,
that's more that's like commercial area.
like I've said this 1,000 times. If there was ever a Miami team for me to be like a Miami team for me to adopt as my own team, it would be the Miami WNBA team. Because oh my God, I would use it as an excuse to buy season tickets to take my niece to.
Yup.
Like I would break that bank too. And you know what's so funny? I would start off buying 2 tickets, and I already know the very next year I'll have to buy 3 because my brother's not gonna let the opportunity pass. Even it's gonna be an hour. It's gonna quickly be like, he's like, oh no, I'm joining. Let's go. And then next thing you know, that's how you start. That's how you start one day. She's calling into a radio station talking about, I've had season tickets for 32 years, and she's just 42. And this team hasn't done anything yet to improve the. I've been trying to see a champion. I haven't seen a championship since I was 12.
Lord have mercy. Sound like one of us Knicks fans calling to Knicks radio.
Exactly, that's gonna be her.
There go Taylor. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Let me get this.
Woo.
Burn.
Oh
to the
my
house.
God.
He did the trick daddy shit. Take it to the house. Take it to the house. Take it to the house. Oh wait. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh yeah, out of there. Watch it again. Watch it again.
Okay. Oh God. Oh my goodness.
On a little swing.
He went out there untouched. He went through everybody.
Wow.
Like he had an invisible cloak on.
Wow.
How he go through that many people untouched?
Love to see it.
You guys understand? He had a 76-yard reception
On like a little 5-yard swing pass, screen pass,
and he didn't get touched. Like okay, they're gonna show this play again. Like so here he goes. He gets it.
Nigga ran through.
All right.
You thought Tyreek Hill was
Okay, so here goes the first. Here goes the
Colts,
first 2 blocks. He gets past them. He cuts kind of in the middle, and he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He gets past 7 to 8 guys without being touched.
Who put the Kansas City Chiefs defense on the field?
Man, we already talked about that.
Yeah,
Kansas City, and I'll just say the most damning thing that you could say about Kansas City Chiefs defense is making everybody that comes and play them look like Kansas City's offense, and that's why they're 2-3.
Man, I think the bigger issue now is like it's the reverse thing. You know how we say, you know, like your defense gets demoralized because your offense can't do shit. I think it's the reverse. The defense is so bad, the offense puts all the pressure on themselves, and then when it's not working for them, it's like, fuck.
We know these niggas can't stop a fucking wet paper bag. They can't stop a baby from
Word. But the problem is all these defenses have realized how to play them.
They have.
Play coverage. Play coverage.
Cover 2.
Not even cover 2, cover 3. Put 8 back there. Cause cover. Listen, a team that plays cover 2 in the NFL today, you're getting raped. You're getting raped by quick little the sideline routes in between the safety and that corner because that corner's gonna stay flat. Corner routes, yeah. Play cover 2 straight all game long.
Said it was beating them. I thought they said that's how Tampa Bay beat them. When they played with that.
But that's the thing. When Tampa was doing that shit, people wasn't doing all the throwing and all of that shit that they do now.
Well, I'm talking about this Tampa for the last 2 years that beat Kansas City.
But they also get away with it also because they have that front 4. That's what also helps. But if Mahomes had time, all you had to do is start throwing corner routes, all in that cover 2.
Okay, you know what? Checkers need to stop playing it. If I can get 2 Whoppers for $6, I need to be able to get 2 Big Bufords for $6 and not 8.
Or 2 Fry Lover Burgers. Them Fry Lover Burgers be hitting different when I'm drunk or high.
Oh man,
Lord.
Checkers was one of my go-to places.
Yeah.
When I was drunk.
I wish that.
Where went out there in Oakland and Rock Island?
Where I used to stay in Miramar, I had a Checkers like 3 minutes from the crib. The amount of drunk nights coming home from parties, pull right up in that Checkers. Oh man.
That's like
It got to the point where they had my order ready for me. I would literally no. I had a couple times where it's like maybe 4 or 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. I made sure I got there for the closing shifts and was like, yo, just know, hey, I'm going out tonight. So expect, just, I got their numbers. I was texting them like, yo, I'm on the way. I'll be there in like 10. They had my shit ready. I just had to walk up to the window while all those cars are sitting there in that line, drag it out to the street. Nah, I just parked, walked up, got my meal, and I was out the gate.
So let's get back to some football, right? Where we had two GOATs from this weekend, all right? They kept padding their stats in a sense, and they also padded the stat that matters the most, the W. The first one we had was Green Bay versus Cincinnati. Woo! And talk about the good games. This was another one of those good, interesting games. But remember a couple weeks ago,
I saw it coming. I wasn't surprised. The only thing with that game is, because I betted on it, because for some reason during the week there was the talk of Cincinnati might beat them. Had that game went into it with no hype, I would have bet Cincinnati take the upset. But because there was too much talking about, Cincinnati could beat them, I was like, no. Green Bay. Green Bay. Exactly. Green Bay gonna come out there ready to play. And still, it still took everything.
It took everything.
Everything.
You know what it took?
You got kickers out here celebrating, thinking they made the game when the field goal when they folded.
Yo.
That was some Nick. That was some Nick Young shit.
Five
missed field goals.
Straight missed field goals we watched
in the clutch.
Game. 3 of them from one team.
And people wonder why I hate kickers.
Not even people. That's not my words.
Can't stand
Chris Canty.
Can't stand it.
Now, the Cincinnati Green Bay game, they made them work. Now, before we get into the game, I want to go back to something that I said a couple weeks ago, right? And I think I said this probably like in week 2. It was by week 2 where when did we see Trevor Lawrence and Smoking Joe Burrow play? Was that week 2 or week 3?
Last week.
It was last week?
Yeah.
Week 4? Okay. So the first time I said it was week 4. I remember what I said last week. I've already seen more from these two quarterbacks. One's in the league for 1 year, one's in the league for 2 years. I've seen more from them, from their gameplay, than I've already seen from both of the quarterbacks in New York. And granted, one's a rookie, but one's in the league for 3 years. Versus one being in the league. So collectively, I've already seen more from those two guys than I've seen from these two guys.
Listen, man.
And now I see this game again. And then granted, I just heard the reports about what they were talking about Smoking. Not the injury reports. We're gonna talk about the injury reports in a second, because the injury report is real. How about his demeanor? But
Joe is cool, man.
Smoking Joe Burrows.
Joe is cool, man.
He is legit.
He's legit. That interception that he threw in overtime, though, I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what he saw. But for the most, Joe is cool, man. And the thing is, you look at it, he's got weapons. He has a true number 1 top 10 running back with Joe Mixon. And then he's got Chase, Higgins, and Boyd. Bona fide receiving core.
And then
with the tight end Azuma.
And Chase is the one that he's familiar with.
That's the rookie from LSU. Shout out to LSU, even though y'all garbage this year. But anyway. But yeah, no, it's like I just no, for real, they're hot garbage this year. Hot garbage. But even another touchdown with Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase ball, 6 catches, 159 yards. I only know that because he's on my fantasy team. 6 catches, 159 yards, and a touchdown. Yeah. Jamar did the damn thing. He did the damn thing. And it's just like, the only thing that hurts is like, fuck, these motherfuckers is in my division.
They're coming.
That's the only thing that hurts.
And
speaking of, quick little shout out. Ben still washed? That's all I want. Just a quick little, just let me get this off real quick. People so focused in terms of what's going wrong with Ben and whatnot. Have motherfuckers even attempted to think this about themselves just from what's going on in Cleveland? You know, that's a great offensive line in Cleveland. That's a very nice running game in Cleveland.
You've been on this road before already as a Giants fan. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt.
That's a very good receiving core in Cleveland too. I mean, we got a nice receiving core too in Pittsburgh. But Baker, they call Ben the worst quarterback in the division. If that's the case, some of these games that Cleveland's winning, Baker's numbers should be way better. He should be an MVP candidate, honestly, if he was really that guy. I'm just sitting here saying, hey, I would love to see Ben in that scenario. And then if he's still fucking up, like Peyton in 2015, then come talk to me about washed. But I digress. No, I said the same shit about Eli. I was saying the same shit about Eli. In terms of, because me personally, I didn't think he was washed. I didn't think he was cooked. No. It's a product of what the fuck you're playing with. Put the man in a scenario where he doesn't have to worry about getting fucking killed in the pocket. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you are playing quarterback, knowing that if I don't get rid of this ball in 2.5 to 3 seconds, I'm going to get my shit killed. Like, I could literally take a hit like Steve Young in 1999 that made him have to retire. That's what Ben now and Eli in 2019, that's how they were playing.
And then the older that they get, those things become
becomes worse.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people want to talk about, oh, Brady got a whole crew. That line
is solid.
That line is solid. Like, don't bring that shit to me, man. Brady played till 44, yeah, because he has good offensive line play. Think of it. How many times do we really worry about Brady being sacked? You might have a game or two here and there where he gets sacked like 3-4 times. But for the most part, he can stand back there, pat the ball, get rid of it.
And I'll remind Jets fans, the couple of years that the Jets were the shit, they had DeBrickashaw Ferguson on one side and they had Nick Mangold on the other.
Come on, man.
Offensive line and defensive line.
Come on, man.
We had a badass line.
Listen, man, like, me personally, like, you know, I love the glitz and glamour with the running backs and the skill players and the quarterbacks, but the last few years I've really paid attention to this game in terms of the offensive line, defensive line. I'm like, all good teams who are there at the end, they either have one or the other or both. If you have look at all these teams that win the Super Bowl. Their offensive line were in sync. Their defensive line were in sync. Like, show me a recent Super Bowl champion that didn't have both great offensive line play and great defensive line play. Because that's where this shit is won. And if you don't have that great offensive line play, you can't run the ball. Your quarterback can't stand in the pocket to make the throws. And if he can't make the throws, the receivers is not going to catch him. Because they're either intercepted, over his head, underthrown. And then if your defensive line is not doing shit, that means that other quarterback on the other side is standing there patting the ball all day long like Buffalo was doing last night. Which would mean lights out for you. Because these beasts that are on the outside for receivers, these cornerbacks, I give them a lot of credit. I think that's the hardest position to play in the NFL, cornerback. You don't know where these motherfuckers are going. You have to read and react. And these motherfuckers are out here running 4-4, 4-3, 4-2s. You can only cover them for so long. And if your defensive line is not, or if you're just not generating no type of pressure, you could be the greatest defense. You could be the greatest secondary. Eventually, these motherfuckers are going to get open. That's what ended up happening with the Legion of Boom. If your front four is not getting no pressure, there's a reason why some of these teams shot big up to the Giants both times they won the Super Bowl. If you can get the pressure with the four, you don't have to send no pressure. You get the pressure with the four. You keep the other seven in coverage.
Just JPP back then.
If you can get pressure with 3 or 4, and you don't have to send no pressure, just know you're gonna be playing in January. As long as your offense is at least middle of the pack, you're gonna be playing in January if you can get pressure with 3 or 4. Because these days, if you're blitzing, you're gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed if you don't get there. You're gonna get killed because these offenses are playing 3 to 4 wide receiver sets and using the whole entire field. Sideline to sideline is live with some of these arms. From Mahomes to Allen to Murray, Rodgers, even Brady's arm is still live out here. Prescott, all these guys, they're throwing it all over the field. Burrow, they're throwing it all over the field. Every part of the field is live with these quarterbacks today. It's crazy, man.
Over the side, over the top, down the middle, especially through the middle. What
Man.
did Tom Brady say about that? They throw down the middle recklessly, and
Recklessly.
they put their receivers in bad position to get hurt.
But the problem is why they can throw it down the middle. It's like, okay, fuck, I got Mike Evans over here. Fuck, I gotta stay on him. Fuck, I got Godwin over here. I gotta worry about him. Fuck, I got AB over here. Fuck.
I got Ridley. Not Ridley. No, sorry, that's Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you got those three bona fide number one type wide receivers, but so in the middle is wide open for Gronk to eat, for Brake to eat, for OJ to eat.
Could he still got
And then you still got the motherfuckers coming out the backfield with Fournette and Giovanni. Like shit, man.
And LaShawn McCoy.
Well, he retired.
I know, I was joking.
But still,
Yeah.
like
But
he
it
was
an
there.
option at one point in time, even though I don't think he got activated. But no,
Like, God
it's true.
damn, son. Like,
So you know what though? Since you're talking about players getting like if you don't have offense line, like you'll get yourself killed.
kill.
Let's talk about some guys that got killed this weekend.
The MyT injury report.
Head down.
So we're gonna start on your neck of the woods, where it's been a heavy burden for everybody to carry what's going on in that team on their shoulders, and that's where we get our first injury with. It's gonna be Juju Smith-Schuster. He came down awkwardly after the reception, trying to brace himself or whatever he did, and looked like he jammed his shoulder in or whatever. So now he's gonna be out for about like 4 weeks with a shoulder injury.
I heard it's the rest of the season.
Oh shit! I got 4 weeks for right now, so I don't know.
I hope it's 4 weeks.
It could change.
I hope it's 4 weeks. Well, I will say this though, if it's the rest of the season, not that it's okay, but I'm gonna say this in terms of one player who apparently I'm hearing gripes that they're complaining. James Washington. All you wanted is an opportunity. You feel like you're not getting opportunities. Well, not. If Juju's out, opportunity's knocking. Make it count. Don't make all that crying and complaining that you've been doing and asking for a trade or whatever, and then you don't go out there and produce when the opportunity knocks. That's all I'm gonna say. Because Deontay's doing his thing, Claypool doing his thing, Ebron and the rookie tight end Freiermuth, they're doing their thing. Obviously the rookie running back, man, whoo. And then also big up to the offensive line for showing up yesterday. We won that game because offensive line decided to play ball yesterday and hold it down. But yeah, like I said, that's Juju's out the way. James Washington, that's gonna be you coming on in. Don't make all that crying and complaining and you don't come through. That's all I'm gonna say.
Also, another big injury is going to be from Kansas City for their running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He ended up getting folded in half actually while being tackled. Legs stayed underneath him, top portion of his upper body went underneath him. He went into a yoga pose and he hadn't fully stretched out for 2 hours yet to be able to go bend that back, fall back legit, and now he's going to be out with a knee injury.
Damn it, man.
Also, not sure probably not going to miss any games, but has an injury in a sense to report, and it isn't from smoking, but we have smoking Joe Burrow, and he has a throat contusion. And he got that in that game that he stayed in and played.
Throat contusion? Just know that man is getting tested for COVID every day this week. Twice a day. Every day this week.
Now, he wasn't the only quarterback that had a rough time. We also had one down in the Big Easy that wasn't having such an easy time, and that was one Taysom Hill. Their residential Swiss Army knife came up a little dull, got his bell rung by not by LL, but and now he has a concussion. Also, not fully injured, but had to be reviewed and has something that's notable that needs to be mentioned. Derek Carr. I'm telling you, like, you understand.
It was a body bag week this week.
It started with Russell Wilson on Thursday.
That was exactly. That was an omen.
And Matthew Stafford.
That was an omen because I'm like,
both
Russell don't get hurt.
Russell don't miss shit. He about to miss 4 weeks.
Exactly. He's about to miss the next month.
Oh my God, we about to see 4 weeks of Gino. Seattle fans, I pray for you.
We pray for you because listen. And I was at the ball watching that game, and I was talking about Gino. Gino this and that?
Is Earl Campbell still on that team?
Nah, go on.
Okay, good.
But
sounds like, damn, he's gonna get punched in the face again.
But then, but when I saw Gino and people were talking about like, oh, you looking good, I'm like, yo, I can never forgive Geno Smith, because it's not even just. This goes back to his high school days, because he went to where I lived, and I used to watch him play at Miramar High. Bro, I was a freshman. He was a senior. They treated him like a god, son. They treated him like God.
I called
himself.
him Genomas.
Listen. But I kid you not. Friday night games at Miramar High. If you listen and you know about that shit with Geno Smith, with Geno and Stedman Bailey at Miramar High, it was something to see, man. It was something else. It really was. And at that time, I was like, yo, he got next. He gonna be the next great one. He gonna hold it down for the crib. Huh?
Nah, look on. I ain't gonna disturb you.
Oh, my fault. But yeah, nah. Thought he was gonna hold it down. And then it turned out the way it turned out. One thing about me, man, if I'm somebody who's going to bat for anything, and you make me look stupid, I will never, ever let you live it down. So, Geno Smith, God bless you.
Wait, how long do you hold on to that grudge? Forever?
Listen, it's not necessarily a grudge, because like I don't, because you know me, I'm all about positivity, whatever. But I just don't forget shit, and I'm like, nah, nigga. I remember the days when you was in high school, I was jacking you and all of that, and you was in West Virginia doing your thing, balling out, and then you ended up fucking up. You got drafted to the Jets, and motherfuckers was looking at me, and I'm still going to bat for you. But hey, like I said, kudos to you. At least you still collecting them NFL checks, B.
So, Geno Smith came in the game the other day, and
he didn't look bad.
That's what they say. I can't believe I just did that.
And then he threw that interception.
That's what they said. But to me, he just looked like somebody that hadn't been game planned for.
Exactly.
That's all that looked like. Damn it, we weren't prepared, man. We don't got no tape on him. We weren't expecting him because.
And he still has Lockett and Metcalf out there, bona fide weapons.
Because at that time, Russell Wilson was the Iron Man of the league. He had the streak at 169 consecutive starts.
Aaron Donald, I love you, but stay the fuck away from some of these quarterbacks. God damn. You get around these quarterbacks and they just get hurt.
Hey, that's what he gets paid for. He gets paid to hurt quarterbacks. Shit. Listen,
I love you though, Aaron.
He's doing his job.
Don't get it twisted. Aaron, I love you. Aaron Donald, best defensive player in the league. Love you. That man should have been MVP in this league one time. At least once.
He needs to.
But you know how that MVP goes.
You know how that shit go.
Quarterback.
You know how that shit go.
Quarterback.
You know how that shit go.
Quarterback. Running back this year, Adrian Peterson.
It's either quarterback or a running back
who had to have a phenomenal year,
almost a record-breaking year. Same thing for wide receiver. If they do
9 yards away. It took. That's what it took. That's what it took Adrian Peterson to get MVP.
Talk about a disappointing year.
9 yards away from that after coming off the ACL in week 16 the previous year. So we talking like what? 8 months, 8-9 months. And then went and did that. That's what it took for somebody other than a quarterback to win league MVP.
I'm surprised he's still not in the league. Now I'm not throwing shade. I'm just kind of curious. How the fuck is Frank Gore's in the league and Adrian Peterson ain't?
Frank Gore's not on the team. 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 He's practicing for boxing.
Oh.
But the word is he could be on a team if he wanted to.
Understood.
Hey man, I think part of the reason Frank Gore is still like around because
I know I saw Natalie pop up in the room. Natalie, you still there?
in terms of because you know the NFL now, if your running back can't catch out the backfield, what good are you? Type shit.
True.
Frank Gore's a better pass catching running back than Adrian Peterson is. Both of them are old, but at least a team knows that if there's nothing there, I can still dump it off to Frank Gore for at least a good 5 to 7 yards.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is the part of the injury report that gets a little closer to home. If you're a Giants fan, sit down. You're gonna catch a body
Get
blow.
your blunt ready.
You're
Get your drink ready. Cause God,
you're about to catch a jab, a body blow, and a hook, or maybe it's a body blow, an uppercut, and a hook. But first, Kenny Galloway out, gone, done, right?
And this is what happened in the game. We're not talking about what already came into, with Sterling already out. Who else was already out?
Was the tight end out?
I think no, Evan was there. It might have been Rudolph then, but I know there were at least 2 pass catchers who.
And they
were
had
out.
a defensive person out because I remember initially I had picked them.
And a lineman.
I initially had picked the Giants to win, and then hearing all of the injuries they had going into this game, I'm like, I can't pick them. I can't. They're gonna fucking lose. And I
God
corrected
bless.
that. Thank you. And I know I corrected it on the air, and I told anybody if you're seeing my picks, make sure you get the Cowboys on that one. But then in the game, Kenny Galloway out, and then play is over. Saquon Barkley chilling, walking to the sideline. That net that I guess that net that Odell Beckham Jr. Beat up came back for a round revenge on another person because all of a sudden, bam, Saquon Barkley twist his ankles, big old knot.
Landed on somebody's foot, roll. I'm like, yo, that's a basketball injury.
For real.
That's how you know somebody just has bad luck.
Yes.
Like B.
Yes.
I'm like B. How do you catch basically a basketball roll in football, kid?
So we already know now he's gone for another 3-4 weeks now.
Yeah, he's
Because he can't cut or move anything on that ankle.
Because the thing is, here's the difference.
How deep he moves?
Here's the difference. If he played basketball, that's a week max.
You could
But-
tailor it.
but
You don't have to do that cutting.
But
man.
he
You-
plays
so hard.
football. That type of roll, they're not used to that. They're not used to that type of roll. Not like that so sudden. So it's going to take longer because that ankle's not used to bending like that the way it would in basketball. So it's going to take longer. And it's just like, I didn't see the play at first. I just saw, because I was at Brews. This was before I left to go Carnival. I went to the bathroom. I come back and sit back outside. All of a sudden, they showing me this nigga on a cart. And that's when I texted John. I was like, yo, Saquon is done. This nigga hurt again.
See,
and then I saw the play, and I was like, oh, the nigga can't catch a break, son.
Yeah, see, I didn't realize that he had got hurt at that time. I thought you were talking about his gameplay. And then about a minute or so later, I was like, and I had forgot about your text for a second while I'm watching it. I was like, again? I'm like, oh, he's done. I'm like, oh, that's what KJ was talking about. Yeah, he is. He's unlucky.
Unlucky to the max.
Because
Niggas talking about
now-
Carson Wentz is unlucky.
Now he's injury prone. And bad luck can be part of being injury prone. I'm sorry.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Like, he's injury prone, and has he played a full season worth of games?
Outside of his rookie year, no. In all the other years, he's missed at least one game.
Like, I can't think, but I'm thinking.
He
so
might
he
have-
played his whole
he-
rookie
he
year.
might have even missed a game in his rookie year too.
You
That's
think?
crazy.
And this is the guy that was picked the number 2 pick.
2.
Again, this is why getting running backs high. I understand on why they think that when they think it, but I'm sorry, I can't justify it. And I get it. Like, if you're that running back, you want that dough, but I'm looking at guys like Saquon, and I can't draft you high anymore.
Listen,
I'm
at the point.
Round.
I'm at the point that when I have a son and he plays football, I'll be goddamn if any coach tries to put him at running back. I'm like, no.
Not only that, I'm making you switch teams because apparently that coach don't like you.
Wait, running back? No.
What my son do to you? I'm like, well, what's the beef?
Listen, B. Either corner, receiver, safety, or quarterback. That's it. Or linebacker. That's it. Or if you're just a big fat motherfucker, then okay, line, D-line. But running back, no. And if I go to a couple other teams, they try to tell me the same thing. I'm like, all right, hey, listen. Football's not working out. Let's get this baseball bat in your hand, and let's do. Listen.
How's your foot work? How's your feet work?
You know what I'm saying? And I would jack baseball first, only because some of this money that I'm seeing for the year. B, when I'm seeing 13 years, 300. When I'm seeing 10 years, 450 million. I'm like, oh my god, and it's not like it's that taxing on your body. Hey son, listen. You understand? If you can hit this ball out there, and if I get you in the right school, B, if I get you in the right tournaments, AAU, they could eventually be cutting you a check for 10 years, $450 million, and it's not like you're killing yourself.
By then, 620.
I could get you a check eventually for 10 years, $700 million. And all you have to do is hit a ball, run the bases,
and explain to him too.
Run the bases
30 out of 100 times. That's it.
That's it. That's
how crazy.
I'm not
Like,
asking you to go over the middle and get hit by somebody like Ray Lewis. I'm not asking you to stand back in a pocket and get blindsided
by Sam Darnold.
I'm not asking you to get blindsided by Aaron Donald.
No, sorry, Sam. I'm tripping. My bad.
I'm not asking you to run. I'm not asking you to run, cut, and all of a sudden your knee goes out and you now ACL, all of that. I'm not asking you to jump in the air and get a rebound and fuck up your ankle and all of a sudden, boom, now you out and injury prone and all this. I'm telling you to sit on a bench, and then come in, swing about 4 times a game at most, go in the outfield, catch, field, throw.
Wait for a ball to come your way and then react.
And they're gonna pay you $700 million over 10, 11 years. That's why I mean, right, especially right now for the African American dynamic in terms of baseball. I know when I have a son, baseball is the number one sport I'm gonna push. That's the number one sport I'm gonna push.
It's only like the only reason why people don't only shy away from baseball is only because they don't come up immediately right away. Depending on how 90% of them don't get called up right away.
Right.
You have to go through that.
You have to be rare.
Yeah,
it's rare. Bryce Harper, that's rare.
You have to go through their farm system and pay your dues in a way in that farm system, making $100,000 a year or some shit like that or whatever it is.
But eventually, if you break through, if you break through and become a star,
but not for nothing, right?
Lord of mercy.
Think about this: you can get paid $250,000 a year to be in minor league baseball for 15 years. So $250,000 a year for 15 years.
I think a good amount of people in America would take that.
Either.
I think a good amount of people in America
I'm gonna have
would
to
take
really
that.
look up that.
Because you got to understand and think about this in your own life. If somebody comes to you and tells you you're gonna make $200K for a year for the next 15 years, would you take that?
Okay, let's see. A minimum G League salary. Whoa. Okay, which is okay. As with AAA, G League can make significantly. Okay, so a minimum G League salary is $7,000 per month. So that's about $84,000 a year. That's the minimum, which comes out to
all you're doing is just playing basketball.
Oh, okay.
And that's G League.
Well,
that's not even the baseball numbers.
So let's run this back. It's $35,000 for a 5-month season. So there's 29 G League teams and 10 per roster. Let me see. Now, as with AAA players, G League players can make significantly more money depending on a variety of factors, and then they go into a whole bunch of other shit. So at bare minimum, they're talking about $35,000 a year, which is average pay for a normal person to. Let's see. Players for the.
But remember, at the end of the day, they're
paying.
paying you to play a game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no matter how much it is, they're paying you a certain amount to play a game. The rest of us, we have to get up early in the morning or whatever, go work for 8 hours.
Oh man.
Go work for 8 hours, however many hours, and then come home and whatnot. They're asking you to go play a game for 2.5, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, give or take the day. They're asking you to play a game for that amount of time. I think that playing a game is much more enjoyable than the typical sitting behind the computer or fixing somebody's car or, I don't know, putting out fires or some shit like that, or saving a life. Well, give or take, however you feel. Okay. I would feel that that's much more fun to do besides those type of jobs, even if you pay me $35-40K for 5 months, and then from there, that's on me to put more of a bag in my own pocket.
Okay, I actually got some better information here. It's actually a big significant difference.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure baseball is way more significant
first year,
difference than NBA.
So it's how they call it, first year rookies and Class A baseball players make the least out of any baseball league. Now, let me make sure I go ahead and cite this real quick. I'm getting this from the Stadium Reviews. The StadiumReviews.com. This is somebody's blog. Okay. And this is information that's from February of 2021. So, first year rookies and Class A players made... Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Now, they make $6,000 per season. And if it's short, then they make even less per week. They can make anywhere between $300 to $400. Double A is the median level and pays slightly higher. These players are young and high-level athletes whose prospects for the major look promising. Players in the class may make about $9,000 per season. That translates to about $500 per week. Oh, damn. That is still super low. Finally, AAA can make about $15,000 a season. In AAA, they can make as much as $700 per week and have the highest chance of anyone in the minor leagues to make it to MLB. Okay. Low pay and few perks. With such low salary. Okay, so, yeah, I just had to get that. Damn. I did not know that it was that low for their salary. I thought they made... I thought they made something a little better, a little more comparable. But from what they're showing me there, that's not it at all. And I was hoping that they made something at least to where I guess I want to compare it to how the NBA, maybe a G League is, or how the NBA has trying to construct their new G League. I thought minor league baseball would have been there already, but no, they pay shit. Like it really is shit for pay. It's not good at all. All right, so we just lost KJ for a moment because it looked like he had an emergency that he had to go take care of, so he won't be with us anymore. Let's go ahead and get this squared away. The power, the magic of whatever, and not for nothing. Like we're gonna be getting out of here pretty soon because we're almost done here. So let us go back and continue what we were talking about, right? Because there was a bunch of injuries that also happened this past weekend, and a lot of quarterbacks were trying to run for a couple of touchdowns. You saw people getting folded up, just trying to get first downs. I already mentioned was Juju Smith with his shoulder. We had Clyde Edwards-Helaire with his knee. Thank you very much. We have Smoking Joe Burrow. He had a throat contusion. Tyson Hill with a concussion. Derek Carr. We have Russell Wilson.
Not yet.
Right? And then the three New Yorkers. Kenny Galloway. Saquon Barkley. We just talked about his basketball injury, his ankle. And then Daniel Jones, the quarterback. So we're talking about Russell Wilson. We're talking about Matthew Stafford. We're talking about Tyson Hill, Derek Carr, and Daniel Jones as quarterbacks alone in 1 week. Didn't we lose Jimmy G recently too? Or did he just lose his job?
No. He got hurt too.
Yeah.
But the issue is Trey Lance got hurt too. Trey Lance got hurt as well. But coach is making it seem like, oh, it's not a big deal. There's a chance he could still play this week. I'm like, I thought I heard something with the knee. The knee?
Yeah.
For a quarterback like that? Like, did you not learn with RG3 in Washington?
You better send him down.
Did you not learn?
A lot of people got lumped up.
It's like, listen, man, I'm all here for protecting the players, man. But I really think the lack of practicing before leading into the season is playing a huge role into some of these injuries.
Yeah, lack of practice. That was already. See, they always try to blame a lot of stuff. First started with the lack of practice. Now it's the lack of preseason games because it's still basically lack of preparation. So ultimately, it comes down to lack of preparation. These guys aren't coming in prepared enough anymore for their jobs. Let's go to the other side of football. Since I have you for a limited time, let me let you go ahead and get this out of the way because I know that you wanted. I know that there were some things that happened in the college football scene and also in baseball that you wanted to get to. Let's go ahead and talk. Let's go ahead and talk about some of this college because there were some shockers. The biggest shocker that everybody obviously knows about. So let's get them.
Love to see it segment of the week. Give me that shit. Love to see it. Love to see it.
It's not even the fact that it's a shocker. It's just how these games went down. You had two games that were going on at the same time that were just like, you talk about the Tyson and Deontay fight, blow for blow. These games were blow for blow, especially the Ole Miss Arkansas game. Imagine watching a game 52-51, 52-51, and the only reason that was a score is because one team technically did score a touchdown to tie the game. It's just they wanted to show that they got big balls and go for the jugular, go for the win, go for two. You just didn't get it done. You missed. And now you look like the duck of the day because you could have just kicked the field goal and played college football overtime rules and see what would have happened. I would have understood that if you had to play NFL.
My promoter just hit me up. What does he want me? He sent me question marks.
Oh shit.
Did I must have missed a message from him. Fuck. It's because he only can message me from Facebook. I be missing my social media messages. Cause I don't be knowing where my messages be coming in at. I lose track of that shit. I gotta go check my messages. I gotta remember to check my Facebook. My bad. But I just like, damn, he sent me some question marks on my Facebook. I gotta see what the hell that's about. I actually need to go see him and see if I'll get some tickets possibly. Or some more flyers. Ooh, I still need to send him that headshot for Mark. 350. Do you want me to keep stalling?
My fault. I thought I seen some shit.
Alright, well So while he goes through that, it was also a big significant loss, right? And obviously, this loss comes to the team that obviously everybody has as one of the 4 teams that's gonna make it into the national championship playoff college.
I wasn't on that game yet. That's the thing. That's how crazy this shit was. I wasn't even on that game you saw about yet. I didn't even know it. But Ole Miss, Arkansas, great game. That's one game. That was crazy as fuck. Then you got the Red River rivalry. Say that 3 times fast as fuck.
The Red River rivalry. Even
With
I know
Oklahoma.
about that shit.
With Oklahoma and Texas. All I see early on. And the funny thing is I bet on this game. I bet on Oklahoma to cover the spread, the 3.5 point spread.
Boomer, sooner.
I look early on, I see 28-7 first quarter. I said, fuck. I said, well, rip up that parlay. I come back, I see halftime. 38-20. Fuck. This nigga's not even trying to make no run. All of a sudden, then I come back, I see 41-23. I'm like, alright, it's fucking Oklahoma bullshitting today. Fucking Spencer Rattler, what the fuck?
Word.
Then I blink, and I
I have
see.
a reminder for talent.
Thank you. Then I see 41-33 Texas. I'm like, with Oklahoma having the ball, I'm like, okay. Next thing I know, I see the highlight in terms of how Oklahoma tied the game with some 60-yard bong where the receiver barely kept his foot in bounds. I said, oh shit. And then I come back, I see Oklahoma took the lead 48-41. And then Texas come back, ties the motherfucker. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on in this game? And then just when I thought it was over, I'm like, okay, they're going to overtime. I see Oklahoma's got a touchdown, won the game. I said, yo, them niggas not only won, but they covered. Yo, shout out, big up Oklahoma for that. Y'all niggas is lit. Y'all niggas not only came back, but you won and covered the spread, saved my parlay. Shout out to y'all niggas. Fuck you, Alabama, for losing, but I'll get to y'all niggas in a second. But,
That's crazy.
man, that was insane. B, they won the game on a play that you would typically think you shouldn't win on that play. They ran the ball really only just to get more yards, get down, call timeout. The running back scored a 30-something yard touchdown with 3 seconds left in the game. He fucked that up. All of a sudden, you don't get down in time. Now you can't call the timeout to kick the field goal and whatnot. You talk about big balls. That was crazy to me. That was crazy. Then you had Alabama who just didn't show up that night.
I feel like I haven't been watching. I feel like Indiana's playing keep away.
Probably. They got a 7-0 lead. So it's like, okay.
They just been running the hell out of this ball and trying to keep Lamar
Trying to drag
Jackson
it
off the field because they know that motherfucker is dynamite.
At any moment. At any motherfucking moment.
I could have sworn I can't even get to his message. I saw it a second ago and it was gone. All right. Okay. And
Yeah, Alabama. I didn't see that coming at all. Especially
that's a crazy comeback.
That was crazy. That was quick because I didn't see that coming. Because the more reason why I didn't see it coming is because Oklahoma hasn't looked, and this is for anybody who watches college football. You'll know that Oklahoma hadn't looked that impressive this year so far. They haven't. Like when it was 28-7, what in terms in Texas has looked very good recently. What the fuck when it was 28-7 would give you the impression that Oklahoma was about to make this enormous comeback and win the way that they won? I had no reason to think that. But enough of that game. When it comes to the Bama game, that is one I didn't see coming at all. A&M had lost their quarterback a few weeks earlier. I think he's still out their main quarterback. And then how they've looked since then, I'm like, I had no reason to not only think that that Alabama was going to win, they were going to cover that 17.5 point spread. So I took that on top of, and then on top, what also made me more confident on that shit is I took Georgia to cover their 15.5 point spread in Auburn. I was like, oh, and that game had just finished, and Georgia whooped their ass. So I'm like, shit, Alabama's paying attention to that shit. So I'm like, there's no way they come out here. I'm like, man, these niggas were down 24-10 at halftime. They trying to make a run, boom, kickoff return. But then they finally get it going, do Alabama things, take the lead, and then come back, tie the game up, win it in overtime. And I'm just like, damn, y'all niggas were looking unbeatable for some parts of the year. And you lose to this team? Bugging. But then I had some of my boys text me like, oh yeah, Alabama's done, they're not winning again, blah 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 blah. I remember I said, hold on, player. Wait for those rankings to come out on Sunday afternoon. That will determine if Alabama is really cooked or not. They only had 5. You just gotta be 1 of 4 to get in that shit. I'm like, they're at 5. So just understand this right here. Georgia could win the rest of their games. Alabama could win the rest of the game. They could come into the SEC championship game with the same records that they have right now. But all Alabama has to do is win out, and they're right back up in that college football playoff. What you talk about Alabama done? Just stay right there at 5 to an SEC championship game. Play Georgia in the SEC championship game once again. And like I was at the bar yesterday and someone said, "Oh, Georgia will beat them." And shit like, stop it. I know Saturday happened in terms of Saban losing to an assistant. That don't happen often. That was the first time. It won't happen again this year. When he go see Kirby Smart, we know how that shit goes. Georgia's the one team in this whole shit that will make Alabama actually really sweat for it. Really sweat for it. But we know how this goes. Georgia's going to have a double-digit lead at some point in the game, whether it's 10 points, 13 points, 14 points, 17, whatever. Alabama's going to come back in the SEC championship game, beat them on some classic shit, probably like score like probably 35-31, or maybe a little bit lower than that. It's going to be an epic game, a classic, and Alabama's going to sneak into that college football playoff, and then you know what happens from there. They whoop bum-ass Cincinnati's ass. Cincinnati. Lord have mercy. Whew. And then get to the championship game. Chances are could be against Georgia again and beat them again. See, basically how I'm talking, it eventually has to be like Georgia A. Whenever y'all niggas actually feel like standing up and taking these niggas out.
Shit. And this was the very next topic we was about to talk about too. Sorry.
Gruden, right?
Yo.
Resign, right? I don't believe it.
You want to use air quotes when we say resign? He resigned. He was fired. No.
My bad. They just letting him.
As I said,
they're letting him resign. Quotes. But we know how that shit goes.
Well, you done with talking everything college football?
Oh, I'm good, B.
Okay.
Those are the only things. Those are only 3 for me.
So, as we continue with the other side of football, this is actually where I wanted to go with the other side of football. I wanted to talk about John Gruden putting his foot in his mouth and not having the balls to come out and give a proper I'm sorry. Now you gonna be like, that's the kind of person I am. We ain't gonna talk about this anymore. So that's the news that you guys are hearing coming out right now. Is that
is crazy.
Listen, hey, let's get this done. Let's get this in here proper. Where's it at? John Gruden has officially been let go from the Las Vegas Raiders, folks. He is no longer.
He resigned.
They're gonna let you say that.
It's called saving face.
They allowed him to save face. He was fired for having racially insensitive remarks about the commissioner, the player, the president of the NBA Players Association, DeMaurice Smith, where basically his comments were in a comment. I don't know what brought him to this, but he came out saying that in an email that obviously didn't involve DeMaurice, so it wasn't something that he felt comfortable saying it to him. If he was saying it so jokingly, that he has lips like
Michelin men,
like Michelin tires or whatever, some shit like that, like tires, like some, and then obviously there's some other shit. See, this is why I said.
But here's the thing. This is such a cop out. This is such a cop
Firing
out.
him?
Yes, it's a cop out. Me personally, I'd have been like, listen. You said this 10 years ago. You weren't even working in the NFL. You were an analyst for ESPN. But you know what you're gonna do? I'm not giving you the easy way out in terms of firing you or letting you leave. No. You stand right here and you deal with that. You deal with that with the media. You deal with that with the players. You deal with that. What just happened? That's a cop out. To me, that's a cop out.
Well, it's the organization having to.
It's a cop out.
But no, punishment would have been for him because he basically now gets to fade into the.
Exactly. Fade into the dark. Fade into the dark.
Now, granted, he won't be on ESPN again.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's the thing. Now, because he's definitely cooked from ESPN. He'll never work there again.
What? Oh. I don't know why I even need to pick up. You should have.
That's what I'm saying. I have to mute myself every time I come in right away.
Oh, you know what? I don't have his email address.
See?
Yeah.
That's your fault. That's your fault. Send your email address, man. Come on.
Calm down, good night, sweet. Calm down. Yay.
Let's go.
Take it easy. That work. I'm working.
Well, I mean, hey,
I am Mark 250. I am Mark 250. I am Mark 250. I am.
I mean, while you're there, go ahead and drop your email address, B, so we can have that, so we can get that situated for you, dog.
There's actually somebody else I need to do that too. I need to do that to what's his name? SB as well.
SB, yeah.
Because he always comes in and I miss him. And he be
then all of a sudden he was there, and then
when I notice it, he's gone already. So I need to get his email so that he could just pop in there, and that way I'll at least hear him. And if anything, I just be like, oh, mute yourself. I'll get you in a minute. You know what I mean?
Right. But then let me just say this real quick because I really have to go. So I'm gonna say this real quick. I definitely feel like
I'm kind of agreeing with you.
I'm definitely
I'm
feeling like
agreeing with you, KK.
yeah. I'm definitely feeling like him leaving is a cop out because now it allows him to just go ahead and hide instead of actually dealing with it. Because I mean, me personally, yes. Do I feel like it was racial? Yeah, but we're bullshitting if we think nobody just goes out here and jokes. A lot of people don't fuck with DeMaurice Smith. A lot of people don't fuck with him. My thing is like, are we gonna sit here and act like I know me as a black man, I make some certain jokes about Caucasians,
Spaniards, Asians, and
all
blacks.
of them. Yeah. So like, let's not play that game. He just got caught, and however he got caught, whatever. But this is a decade ago. But at the end of the day, when you get caught, you have to own it.
Also,
my big issue right now is they gave him the cop out. They gave him the cop out of letting him resign. If I'm the owner, if I'm somebody in that position of power, I'm like, oh no. You are not resigning, sir. You are going to go deal with this head on. You are going to go deal with this head on with the media. You're going to go deal with this head on with our players. I'm not giving you the cap. For one, I'm investing in you, so I can't let you make a cowardly move like just retire, like just quitting.
What if the players came to you and were saying that they want him gone?
Then we got to have a real conversation. Because I'm pretty sure if I explain to the players...
I agree with what you're saying, but that could be the only... with the
I
if
feel
it's
you.
the players,
I
that's
feel
it.
you.
That's the only.
But I feel you. But if I go in there as a GM or owner and explain to these players why I want to keep this man here, I'd be shocked if any of them really disagree with me. Because it's like, listen, guys.
So let me answer this.
I could easily let him go. I could easily let that motherfucker go. But wouldn't you want him to have to go deal with the fire?
I do, but let me ask you this: you're in that locker room now. I still gotta take orders and listen to some guy that I think is racist just because you want to punish him in the public eye.
Once again, like I said,
I'm sorry. You could punish him. Why do I have to be punished while you punish him? Because I'm sorry. Now it's a white guy punishing a white guy while the black people that they offended is still being punished during that same time that you're doing the punishment taking on him. Because that still may be dramatic to some, like, they may not want to see him there. And I was like, damn, I gotta sit here and take orders from just because you want to make sure that you publish him. I gotta take orders from him. He gotta tell me where to be, where to sleep, all this shit. I don't even want to see this racist motherfucker.
Right.
And that's what they're thinking. I don't even want to see this motherfucker.
And the crazy thing is,
and now I gotta do just like
the crazy thing is, B,
who's leaving now? Ben Cleveland. Okay,
looks like a lineman.
right here. About to have a hyperextended knee most likely.
Oh, hate to see it.
Got
Damn,
popped in the leg.
But yeah, no, like.
But you think? Do you think because they signed him for a 10-year, $100 million contract, was
Null and
that
void.
like a way out?
Null and voided because
is he still gonna get his money, or he's not gonna get his money?
he's probably not.
Because remember, that's probably another reason why they let him resign. Because if he quits, they don't have to pay him.
But listen,
Because if you could still get paid because you quit, there'd be a lot of NFL coaches who would quit and still get the bag. That is probably a big reason right there why they let him resign. So that way they don't have to pay him because technically he left them.
But
if they fired him, they'd have to pay him.
But not only that, I'm pretty sure that they'll probably figure something out. But they don't want to pay
the number
because
he's definitely gonna get his money.
That's basically like that's a fireable offense. This is conduct detrimental to the team and to the NFL.
This is the same shit that if there was a player, you'd want the player to be held accountable.
Oh hell yeah!
Within the last week, we have 2 incidences of head coaches just really making their organizations look bad.
But I'm saying though, my man do got big lips.
I mean, like I said, he not lying.
No.
He not lying. He just got caught red-handed. A lot of people probably feel that way. That's another thing that blew my mind. I'm pretty sure he's not the only person who feels this way. He just got caught red-handed.
That email of people that he sent that to, that during this whole entire time, that he felt comfortable saying it to them, and none of them said shit to him.
Nothing.
Now 10 years later,
I'm pretty sure Goodell was in that thread.
So now
I'm pretty sure Goodell was in that thread.
What the hell happened all of a sudden? Who did he piss off all of a sudden?
That's what I'm saying.
And 10 years later, somebody wanted to leak this suddenly.
And the shit.
Somebody was like, "I'm holding on to this email just in case."
But you know what though? Keyshawn never liked Gruden.
But there's no way Keyshawn would be in that thread though.
No, not the thread. I'm just thinking that Keyshawn has always had Keyshawn always says about Django that this guy always rubs me the wrong way. He kind of does. He's not always the same person that you see versus the same. Like the guy that you see in the version that you they're not quite this. They don't match up.
Keyshawn has had beef with him since he was playing for him.
Yeah. So when this happened, Keyshawn was like, "I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised at all."
Kind of been trying to tell you guys this, but I'm telling you guys this.
This is the same motherfucker who was literally having a shouting match with this coach on Monday Night Football. Live on TV, they're showing it. Gruden's not responding to him, but Keyshawn is literally in his ear yelling at him on Monday Night Football, knowing everybody's gonna see that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no love lost there. But in regards to everything, it's like, you know, the thing that really blows me the most, because like I said, we've had 2 head coaching incidents within less than a week, where
they just got off with
but what I'm saying is like, these things happen. But my African Americans are struggling to get head coaching opportunities. My African Americans are struggling to get GM opportunities. You got these white motherfuckers out here literally giving you a whole black eye as an organization. You got Urban Meyer looking like a fucking creep putting his hand up another girl's ass. but we can't give an African American the opportunity as a head coach? You serious? You got Gruden out here sending
We all know black men don't cheat.
getting clipped. You got Gruden out here getting clipped for emails that he sent 10 years ago. Like everybody doesn't have their own skeletons from 10 years ago.
Yo, that's
And
crazy,
it's
though.
like, but Eric Bieniemy can't get an opportunity. Well, bum ass Matt Nagy, who's under that staff, finally gave the reins to somebody else to call plays or whatever. And these other two head coaches out here just making the NFL look bad. Like, come on now. A day like today and just like the last few weeks, it's like, yo, y'all really have no excuses for African Americans not getting more opportunities to coach. Fuck African Americans, minorities, period. Minorities, period, for getting opportunities, because this is bullshit. Bullshit. Straight bullshit. And just real quick, because I gotta hit the road. That robbery that took place in Boston, that's some bullshit. Why does Tampa Bay have to get penalized because of Boston's ineptitude? The ball hits off the wall, hits off a player. He doesn't make the play, and it goes over the fence, and then and Tampa Bay has to take the L? No, that should be bases cleared. That should be bases cleared with a player on second base. Garbage. Hot garbage. And then the fact that the very next inning, walk-off home run, that's demoralizing. That's demoralizing. I just hope the baseball gods don't do Tampa that dirty and let them win, because you can't get away with that type of robbery like that. No, not at all. That was a great hit. That should have been that's a bases clearing double right there by that player on the Tampa Bay Rays. But it turned into some bullshit mainly because home cooking. And then like it's just classic Boston. They capitalize on the ineptitude of either your mistake or the Major League Baseball.
Basically,
mistake.
Boston never hesitate to cheat to win.
Boom. Boom. Because that is blatant garbage. How the hell do you credit the team for fucking up? The player fucked up by not being able to field the ball. The player fucked up by not being able to field the ball, and you reward them for that? That's garbage to me. That's good. It should have been 6-4 heading into that inning, to where that 2-run shot, all that did was tie the game. So that was just garbage to me. But on that note, I got to go. Damn, Lamar, you got to hit that shit. You got.
Can I tell you?
That's a bad
Someone
thought.
tell you something as you're walking out the door, right? And it's about probably one of the last games we're gonna break down before we bounce. I have I'm in the kitchen. I'm cooking up some food, right? And I have the games on last night, and and it's pretty late into the Cleveland and Chargers game. And Mom Dukes passes by the television, and she goes, "Is that the score?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "This is a professional football game?"
I love Mom. I love Mom.
I was like,
I ain't gonna lie, you gotta end the podcast on that note right there.
mental note.
You gotta end that shit right there. You gotta end that shit right there. It's sorry defense being played, man.
That's one of those games.
Lord.
With motherfuckers just-
Sorry, I tried.
Exactly.
Honest.
So did those defenses. They tried.
All the bandwidth in the world couldn't keep me contained.
That's what Cleveland defense said right
No
now.
lag.
Chill, Will. Where you at?
No lag. Gonna share my
You have
talents
the
with
playoffs? I don't
podbean
think
knowledge.
so.
Man, that was the.
Always knew.
That's
I
what
was
happens when
there.
LeBron James goes and roots for his third team suddenly. When I saw him there, I was like, "Oh, this ain't gonna be good." That's what Jinx James. You can't see him in your
Maybe not
professional
loud.
team stadium and think y'all about to win.
Munchkin's got good mic skills.
Like he barely got luck when he's the star player on the team that he's trying to have win in a championship. I'm sorry.
Cleveland!
Podcast.
This is for you!
Last call for drinks.
He's close. I'll give him if he's still playing basketball in 5 years. I'll give him my LL in front of his name.
Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast. Don't want to go far. wild night. Tired, B. Tired. MyT.
Sports. Bonus reel, bonus reel, bonus reel, bonus reel. I'm not going to be here long for the bonus reel, to be honest with you, because I'm looking at the time and I'm like, if I can end the podcast now and get in bed in the next half an hour, that means I can get myself at least a good 5 hours of sleep.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Man, you know what 5 hours of sleep can do for a motherfucker right now? I have no clue.
I'm thinking. I just fucking ate. I'm so full. Can't even talk.
Oh. Well, we are still recording. Let's let you know. We all doing
I know.
something. Okay.
Yeah, fucking watching these games.
Oh, shit was crazy. Yo, I have a basketball question that I've been saving for you guys. And I'm probably going to drop it. Like, if you guys are... You going to be here Wednesday?
Late. I get out late.
What about Friday?
Work. Yeah, Friday, yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll save it till Friday. Yep, see, I got the sign to save it till Friday. Because I really have a question. I really have a question. Because B, you realize this, right? Let me tell you this. I'm going to save this question for Friday. Friday is 4 days away. Right? Friday's going to be the 15th. You realize that NBA starts on the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
We're that close to basketball. I got basketball bumps. They're like goosebumps, but they're in the shape of basketballs. Yo, actually, you know what? I'm about to end this now because I feel, you know what?
I'm actually watching it. I'm watching it right now. I'm watching Brooklyn and Sixers.
Yeah, because I can get some basketball on. I can maybe even play a game of 2K and still be in bed by 10 o'clock. We'll see.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because I just started my new dude on the new season. So.
I haven't got on it yet. I'm like, ugh.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you what I did.
I didn't get on yet. I know if I get on, I'm gonna be looking mega time like every day. Like I ain't gonna get shit done. I'm just gonna be trying to get my man up to par. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like get a season in within a week, like type shit. Like
no, listen.
Shit like that.
Listen, why you bullshitting? Because I refused to buy VC, what I did is that I made a center first, right? And because it's dumb easy to rack up shit with a center, I made a center, and this is the only time I play 5-minute quarters. Every other time I really like to play 12-minute quarters. So I played 5-minute quarters, and I played 50 straight games, really quick. Bang, 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 bang. And I didn't spend I spent very minimum amount of VC on the center. I didn't want to raise him over 69, because they be having the boot camp shit. So I didn't want to put him above, so I left him at 69. And I just made him good enough to keep doing what he do, block some shots, get some rebounds. Obviously, all his badges are going up, but I'm not raising his thing. All of that VC, I saved all of that VC up, and then I made the person that I really wanted to make. And so when I did that, I had about $100,000 in VC reserved.
Ooh.
So I made that.
So you took the VC from the center, made a new dude up, and give.
Yeah,
that VC?
Because I spent the very minimum. Like I said, I didn't even spend enough VC to pass my dude past 69. So the only thing I raised up was like his dunking and finishing close, and and a little bit of rebounding and I think like a coach on the block. Like you could block naturally. I don't know how to do that shit. But I need dunk packages. You know what I mean? To be able for you to do shit. So I raised that motherfucker. Let me go ahead and end the shit. So basically, I stopped using it. So after I did that, I didn't use any more VC. So all the money I got from contracts, events, all of that shit. You know what I mean? That shit was all saving. I went through 50 games. As soon as I got to the 50th game, I looked at the VC. I'm like, good, that's about $100,000 right there. Went over and created created the person that I wanted, and I used that VC to bump him up so I could go through college and the combine.
I didn't know you could do that shit.
Oh yeah, because your VC that you earn is VC period. So any VC that you earn in that game, you can use at any point in that game.
I thought it was only good for that one player and shit.
No. You can cross VC. So like when you max out like your, it's like if you ever max out your one dude, like yeah, I got nothing else to spend on him, and you just spending it on bullshit. Be like, you know what, let me go make another dude. I got 300 grand sitting around. I'll be able to max him out real quick, and he make another.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's basically what people do. It's
My last guy, damn, I got a bag, B.
Exactly. Yeah, you be having a bet because like I don't care about buying a whole ton of clothes and all those accessories. Shit. Now, I didn't do it this past year, but in the other years, I was big on one thing. I used to collect throwback jerseys. I did that. So if I saw a decent throwback jersey, like an Oscar Robertson, a Penny Hardaway, obviously I never bought any Miami Heat jerseys. I refuse to do that. I refuse to buy any Indiana Pacer jerseys. Just to let people know. You know what I mean? So like they used to drop the Rod Strickland jerseys. I used to cop that shit. So anytime they had like proper old school jerseys, Carmelo Anthony's high school jersey, college jersey, regular jersey, throwback Portland jersey, shit, like all that shit. You know what I mean? Where they had a jersey that said Rap City on it or whatever, cause for Portland, whatever it is, I would go and I was collecting those, and that would be the only time I would really spend money. And then I already have, listen, you know, basically, see, this is how you know we're 90s babies, cause that's basically how it was in the 90s. One pair of jeans, 52 jerseys. And some Timbs. That's what my.
I think it's about the Timbs all day.
That's really it. But yeah, you can take that VC and move it over like that. Yo, what is up with kickers missing field goals today or this week in football?
Yo, I was mad since he didn't win, man. I wanted them to win, bro.
That would have been something.
Yeah, man, I wanted them to win, man. I wanted them to win. I was hyped. I was like, oh shit, bro's gonna do it. He's gonna give it to them. Fucking kicker missed two fucking.
He missed three. He missed 3 kicks in a row. In that game, there was at one point in time there was as many as 5 missed field goals straight in a row.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because since he missed 2, he really missed 3.
That shit was fucking crazy. That shit was fucking
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
And I bought homeboy from Cincy, thought he made it.
So to celebrate it, yo, I started celebrating like, yo, talk about duck of the year award. Like, yo, you a duck. You know how I know you a duck? Because you walk like a duck and you quack like a duck. And we are cooking the bonus.
That's like nigga, like when you bust and you think you did a good job, and she's like, "You done already?"
She's like, hey, did you just come? Like, you came? Like, oh, yeah. Like, oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, and you thinking you did a good, yeah. And